Chapter 1993. The Lord of True Spirit understood that if he wanted to gain some status in the eyes of the immortals of the upper realm, he had to find the core of the three realms. This trip to the underworld was unavoidable. Since that's the case, then we'll go all out. With an idea in mind, the Lord of True Spirit held an emergency meeting in the True Spirit Palace. Countless experts had gathered at the Grand True Spirit Palace Square. On the high platform, Lord True Spirit descended. "Welcome, Spirit Lord." "Very good, everyone get up." "Yes." Everyone stood up and looked at the stage. Today is the day that the True Spirit Palace shows its power. The underworld has bullied me too much. This time, I will mobilize all the forces of the True Spirit Palace to destroy the underworld and kill the Emperor of the underworld. Destroy the underworld, kill the Emperor of the underworld. Countless experts roared in anger. Previously, the True Spirit Palace had suffered a setback in the netherworld, which had already made them very angry. This time, they wanted to completely crush the netherworld and take back the core of the three realms. Boom! A huge spirit boat appeared in the sky. Lord True Spirit released his power and guided the boat closer. Everyone boarded the boat. This time, millions of soldiers from the True Spirit Palace were going to conquer the underworld. In the underworld, Yi Chen continued to search for Su Yuhan after leaving the White Frost Forest. But after searching for several months, there was no result. Even the power of the Nether Aura Crystal was weakening. This was not good news. "Fellow Taoist Yi, is this Nether Aura Crystal reliable?" The Patriarch could not help but ask. Logically speaking, it's formed by the Lord of the Underworld's aura, so it has a very close connection with Yuhan. However, I think the Emperors of the Underworld might have used some method to cut off this connection, Yi Chen said. The old ancestor of the Nether Spring furrowed his brows slightly and said, "If that's the case, why don't we just capture an Emperor of the Underworld and interrogate him?" Ha ha ha. What ancestor said is extremely true. Yi Chen did not expect the Patriarch of Hell's words to wake him up. Searching like this was somewhat brainless and inefficient. It was better to head to the core of the netherworld to search for information. Go. Ha ha ha, alright. My hands are itching for a fight as well. The three of them headed toward the core of the netherworld. At this moment, a dark hummingbird flew away from the void. The Underworld Hall. "Archemperor, aren't you going to take responsibility for the failure of the last mission?" The Snake Empress sat high up in the hall and said coldly. "Snake Empress, Yi Chen's strength is far above our estimation. Now that he's absorbed the power of the origin of darkness, his strength has soared. It won't be easy to fight him directly. Are you afraid? When did a coward appear among the 18 emperors of the underworld? Moreover, he is a member of the upper 9 emperors." The Archemperor's heart trembled. The Snake Queen was a swift and decisive person, and was not like most women. If she got a hold of a weakness, it would be very difficult to deal with. Hand over the commanding authority. Alright. The Archemperor knew that the truth was that the Snake Queen had long since taken control of the army. His power now existed only in name, and therefore, it didn't matter if he handed it over to her. He handed over the Imperial Seal. Everyone, from today onwards, listened to the Snake Queen's orders. Yes. The Corpse Emperor, the Bone Emperor, and the other experts bowed to him. Snake Queen. The Archemperor also clasped hands and bowed. As a result, all of them were now subordinates of the Snake Queen. The Corpse Emperor and the Bone Emperor both shook their heads at the sight of the Archemperor's attitude. Their operation against Yi Chen and the True Spirit Hall had been a complete failure, and had left them with no face whatsoever. Therefore, it was obvious that they were being led by a woman. Corpse Emperor, Bone Emperor, wake up the other lower 9 emperors. The True Spirit Hall is coming. Snake Queen, what's the meaning of this? The Corpse Emperor and the Bone Emperor didn't understand. Many of the lower 9 emperors were in a state of hibernation, which was a type of cultivation. If they were woken up prematurely, it would reduce the results of their cultivation. To the lower 9 emperors, that would be a huge loss, and could even infuriate them. Of course, the 2 of them didn't want to do something like that. All of a sudden, the Snake Queen's eyes blurred before suddenly opening wide. The 2 of them felt a great shock from the depths of their souls and knelt on the spot. "You dare to question me?" "We wouldn't dare. We wouldn't dare," the Bone Emperor and the Corpse Emperor said, trembling, not daring to look up. "Remember, my words are the words of the upper 9 emperors. Anyone who dares to disobey will be killed without mercy." "Yes, yes." Everyone bowed at the same time. This was to establish their own authority. "Carry out the order." "Yes." The Bone Emperor and the Corpse Emperor flew toward the lower levels of the netherworld. In the lower levels of the netherworld, in the depths of hell, a powerful aura concealed everything. Here, there was nothing but mist and blood. Even the Bone Emperor and the Corpse Emperor would feel chills running down their spines. The Corpse Emperor, the Bone Emperor, and the Blood Emperor were the lowest of the lower 9 emperors, and not all of them were weaklings. Some of them were even stronger than the upper 9 emperors. In the depths of hell, they were all in hibernation, and if they were woken up, the consequences would be unpredictable. The fact that the Snake Queen had asked them to do all of this was to avoid the risk. "Damn it! Are we really going to do as that woman says?" the Bone Emperor said angrily. "Ai. There's nothing we can do. You're still injured, and you're missing one of the Corpse, Bone, and Blood Emperors. There's no way we can fight the Snake Queen. Even the Archemperor is willing to submit to her. What else can we say?" The Corpse Emperor said. "Ai. In the end, the lower 9 emperors are being looked down upon by the upper 9 emperors." "That's not necessarily true. If we release him—" "No way. You're going to release him?" "Why not? He's unreasonable, and we can't afford to offend him. Besides, he told us not to do anything before he went into seclusion. You're courting death." The Bone Emperor's eyes turned cold. Since the Snake Queen wanted to monopolize the power, he would let the Soul Reaper have some fun. The 2 of them walked toward the depths of hell. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The astral winds were biting cold, and the aura was oppressive. The environment here was completely different from the outside. The wails of resentful souls could be heard everywhere. If one wasn't a member of the lower 9 emperors, his or her soul might be devoured. Even I feel intimidated by the aura here. It seems the Soul Reaper's strength has improved again. Ha ha ha. Isn't that what we want to see? Let's hope so. The 2 of them walked toward the depths of hell, where a stone well appeared. The well was filled with killing chi, death chi, and poisonous miasma. The Corpse Emperor and the Bone Emperor walked up to the well. "Get out of the way." "All right." The Corpse Emperor stepped aside, and the Bone Emperor stepped forward, placing his palms on the well. "Mima, Mima, Mima." The Bone Emperor chanted an incantation, and immediately, the power of the incantation flowed into the well. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Immediately, the sound of cold wind could be heard coming from the well, and the smell of blood rushed out. Even the Corpse Emperor, who had spent a lot of time with corpses, felt nauseous and uncomfortable. "Get out of the way!" the Bone Emperor shouted, and the 2 of them retreated. Rumble. Chapter 1994. Rumble. Suddenly, a rumbling sound came from the well. Then, countless bones broke and flesh was torn apart. Roar! A roar accompanied by anger soared to the sky. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh! Suddenly, the sky was filled with red mist, covering the crescent moon, and the power of darkness descended. This! The Corpse King was shocked and even frightened. "Don't retreat, we have to hold on, or it will only be more dangerous." All right. The 2 of them stood where they were and waited. This was the kind of personality that could captivate souls. Weaklings only added to his desire to kill. Only by resisting this kind of pressure could the 2 of them have a chance of survival. Rumble. Then, the whole well exploded, rocks crumbled, flesh, bones, and all kinds of disgusting things burst out from the bottom of the well along with green liquid. The two emperors were both shocked at the same time. In fact, balls of filthy things were directly splashed onto the two of them. However, they did not dare to move and could only endure it, because once they triggered the ultimate killing intent of the soul hook and devour, it would be impossible for them to walk out of hell. Corpse King, Bone King. Suddenly, an angry voice came from the void above the red mist. Soul hook and devour, this is not our idea. This is the order of the Snake Queen. The Bone King said. I don't care what bird or Snake Queen, just die. The soul hook and devour was really angry, stretching out a huge blood-red claw, aiming at the Bone King and the Corpse King. The Corpse King was shocked, and the Bone King sent out a palm strike. Rumble. The Bone King's palm print collided with the soul hook and devour's sharp claw. Kacha, kacha, kacha. In an instant, the palm print shattered, and the sharp claw continued to approach. Soul hook and devour, are you going to defy the order of the Snake Queen? Snake Queen is nothing. When I was cultivating, I told you not to disturb me. How dare you touch my well without my permission? You are courting death. We are following orders, and this time, there is a good target for you to devour. Don't try to deceive me, you are dead meat. The soul hook and devour was really angry, and even in the face of the two emperors, it was still unrelenting. Go. As the soul hook and soul devourer sent out another palm strike, countless venomous insects and ferocious beasts rushed out of the red mist and went straight for the Corpse Sovereign and Bone Sovereign. You're too much. The Bone Sovereign was infuriated. Disregarding the injuries on his body, he activated the countless bone chains. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The earth split apart and mountain rocks shattered. The bone chains transformed into a formation that locked onto those poisonous bugs and ferocious beasts. Ha ha ha, Bone Emperor, long time no see. Is this all you got? Ridiculous. Being ridiculed by the other party, the Bone Sovereign's pride in his heart erupted. The bone chain array continued to strengthen, trapping countless venomous bugs within. Chi chi chi. Just when Bone Emperor thought that he was still in control of the situation, countless of red balls suddenly floated out from the soul-sucking devourer. Kacha, kacha, kacha. These spheres fell into the bone chain formation and collided with the poisonous insects and beasts. In an instant, they turned into red blood mist and seeped into the bodies of the poisonous insects and beasts. This is, ha ha ha, let me show you something new. The soul hook devourer sneered. Then, absorbing the power of the red ball, the poisonous insects and ferocious beasts went crazy. Roar. The roar of the beasts shook the void. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Then, the bone chains were bitten off by those poisonous insects and ferocious beasts. Impossible! The Bone Sovereign turned pale with fright. If his bone chain array couldn't even deal with these poisonous insects and ferocious beasts, then how strong would the real body in the red mist be? The Corpse Sovereign was scared silly. The opponent in front of him wasn't someone they could deal with. Perhaps it was a mistake to awaken this person. Ha ha ha, it's my greatest pleasure to see your terrified expressions. The 18 emperors of Underworld are all expert. Once you become weak, you will lose your qualification as one of the 18 emperors. At that time, it won't be a problem for me to kill you, right? You! The Corpse Sovereign and Bone Sovereign exchanged a glance. They understood that the soul-sucking devourer wasn't a joke. This bastard could really do such a thing. Kill. The Corpse Sovereign released the Corpse Mountain and Blood Sea at the same time. Rumble. The Corpse Mountain towered over the sea of blood. Above the peak, the Corpse Sovereign faced the soul-sucking devourer head-on. Soul-sucking devourer, you dare to fight the Emperor of Netherworld to the death? You are simply insane. Do you really think that the two of us are weaker than you? The Corpse Sovereign pulled himself together, hoping to use the pressure from the two of them to make the soul-sucking devourer yield. However, they still underestimated the soul-sucking devourer who had been in seclusion for hundreds of years. Ha ha, with just the two of you trash? Go to hell. Such an action triggered the murderous intent of the soul-sucking devourer. Obviously, the Bone Sovereign and the Corpse Sovereign had fallen into an absolute crisis. Rumble! At this moment, a violent tremor came from the outside. A powerful force shook the 9 heavens and 10 earth. Sensing this force, the soul-sucking devourer's face revealed a look of excitement. This is the smell of an expert. How delicious! The soul-sucking devourer stuck out his nose and sniffed the air. His nose was like a giant mouthpiece. It was extremely bloody and strange. You two trash aren't even qualified to be devoured by me. The real expert has already descended into the underworld. Although the Bone Sovereign and the Corpse Sovereign were furious, they did not dare to speak anymore. This was their only chance. Rumble! With a loud tremor, the soul-sucking devourer soared into the sky, leaving the two of them with lingering fear. This B*****, he actually attacked us. The Bone Sovereign scolded. Sigh, it's good enough that he survived. The shock just now was extremely powerful. You also felt it. It's Yi Chen. Yes, this shock is very familiar. It's definitely Yi Chen. I didn't expect Yi Chen to save our lives. It's just a coincidence. Let's continue to wake up the other emperors. Alright. The two of them continued to move. At this moment, outside the underworld temple, Yi Chen and the other two had arrived on the ring-shaped mountain range. Fellow Yi, such a shock can definitely attract the arrival of emperors, the patriarch said. Then let's wait. Yi Chen and the other two sat cross-legged on the stone platform, waiting for the arrival. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this time, a gust of wind swept across the sky and the sky was dark. The entire cloud layer turned into the color of a blood mist. The huge creature in it constantly twisted its ugly body like a pool of blood. It was a dark slime. It constantly transformed into various forms in the sky, obviously adapting to the external environment. Is it you? Provoking me? A heavy voice sounded and reached Yi Chen's ears. You came quickly. Yi Chen opened his eyes and looked at the void. Yes, it's me. Ha ha ha, then, wait for me to tear you into pieces and chew you up. Chapter 1995. Above the bloody mist, a huge head appeared. It was like an incomparably huge octopus head. Such a monster was actually the 18 emperors of the underworld. It was shocking. Go! The soul-sucking devourer roared. Instantly, countless blood-colored poisons flew out of its mouth. Oh? There's something like this? Interesting. Let me play with it. Seeing the poisonous mist, the Patriarch of Hell flew out with the Netherworld sword in his hand. Sword Chi Netherworld, 100 refinement. The Netherworld energy surged, and flames soared into the sky, refining all poisons. Pust, pust, pust. When the poisonous mist touched the Netherworld sword Chi, it instantly turned into countless phosphorescent flames that filled the sky. Damn it! Seeing that the poisons he spat out were all killed by the Netherworld sword Chi and even refined and absorbed, the soul-sucking devourer was furious. Tell me your name before you die. Ha ha ha, my real name is the Patriarch of Hell. Who are you? I, the soul-sucking devourer, will take your life today. Ha ha, what a lousy name. Die. The Patriarch of Hell laughed out loud. The Netherworld sword once again generated a gust of wind. Countless sword chi transformed into the power of death and went straight for the core of the bloody mist. Boom, boom, boom. Following that, countless energy explosions spread out. Within the bloody mist, there was a loud rumble, but the huge monster did not make any sound, as if it did not hurt him at all. The Patriarch of Hell was slightly moved, finding it strange. Patriarch, be careful. Yi Chen reminded him at that moment. When the Patriarch turned around, he realized that countless bats were charging at him. Squeak, squeak, squeak. These blood-colored bats carried a thick stench of blood. They had sharp teeth and were bloodthirsty. Ha ha ha, it's ridiculous that you want to fight me with your level. The soul-sucking devourer laughed out loud. He had absorbed all the sword chi that the Patriarch of Hell had sent out earlier and even evolved the bloodthirsty bats. That was his technique. At that moment, the Heavenly Emperor Sword Spirit appeared between Yi Wuxuang's brows. With a wave of his hand, sword chi erupted like a tidal wave and charged at the blood-colored bats. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Wherever the sword chi passed, the bats' bodies exploded into a bloody mist and returned to the void. Ha ha ha, you guys are quite interesting. Let me have some fun. I've been cultivating for hundreds of years in the dry well, and it's getting a little boring. This time, I'll use you guys as a sacrifice. The soul-hooking devourer revealed a sinister smile. His figure transformed, and 8 arms stretched out at the same time. Roar. The roars of beasts rang out again and again. Heaven and earth changed color, and a bloody mist filled the air. It was a terrifying scene. Chi chi chi. Subsequently, blood that looked like seawater spurted out of the 8 gigantic hands and attacked Yi Chen and the other 2. Danger. Yi Chen understood that the blood contained lethal poison. Only he could deal with it. Heaven-devouring roar. The 9 transformations of the true spirit formed the image of a supreme giant beast. Its roar devoured the heavens, and everything became peaceful. Hoo hoo hoo. The endless amount of blood was completely devoured by the heaven-devouring serpent. The sky was clear. What? It was impossible for anyone to devour such a large amount of poisonous blood. That would be courting death. However, just what was going on in front of him? Bewitching soul-devouring soul fell into confusion. Who the hell are you? How dare you swallow my blood? The person who killed you. Facing the confused soul-hooking devourer, Yi Chen responded coldly. Ha ha, very well. The soul-hooking devourer's strongest killing intent was instantly aroused. He extended his 8 arms at the same time and grabbed Yi Chen. 3 orders were issued. The immortal slaying flying saber merged into 3 forms and flew out. Chi chi chi. In the sky, the immortal slaying light shone endlessly. Wherever the light passed, the sound of slicing could be heard. A painful roar followed. The soul-hooking devourer's 8 arms were cut off by the immortal slaying flying saber at the same time. They turned into pieces of flesh and fell to the ground. Chi chi chi. These pieces that fell to the ground also contained lethal poison. They could even corrode rock. Die. This time, the soul-hooking devourer was completely furious. His reputation was going to be destroyed by Yi Chen. This was unacceptable. He had been in closed-door cultivation for hundreds of years. The day he came out, he should be killing everywhere. However, his 8 arms were easily broken. What was this? 3 souls and 7 spirits, listen to my call. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Suddenly, the soul-hooking devourer activated a secret spell. The flesh and blood that had been cut into pieces earlier turned into black mist and soared into the sky. Retreat! Yi Chen shouted. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The Patriarch and Wuxuang returned to Yi Chen's side in a flash. What is this? The Patriarch asked. This person is very strange. This should be a double formation that targets the mind and body. You guys retreat. All right. The 2 of them retreated quickly. Only Yi Chen faced the soul-hooking devourer. Trash, are you ready to die? You idiots, I'm going to devour your souls. Die. Facing Yi Chen's mockery, the soul-hooking devourer completely lost control. He wanted to use all the power that he had accumulated in hundreds of years of closed-door cultivation to defeat the opponent before him. However, he did not know that he was facing the heavenly emperor of the past. 9th Heaven Thunder Palm. As Yi Chen waved, 9 rays of dragon energy shot out at the same time. The momentum of the thunder was unstoppable. Roar. The 9 dragons appeared, and heaven and earth shook. Rumble, rumble, rumble! Those pieces of flesh that wanted to return to the bloody mist were completely crushed by Yi Chen's thunder palm. This way, the soul-hooking devourer formation would lose enough energy. Damn it! The soul-hooking devourer was furious. He sacrificed his flesh and blood to complete the formation. Very bold. Unfortunately, it's still useless. A lotus appeared under Yi Chen's feet, and golden light bloomed behind him. The Heavenly Emperor's disposition was invincible. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. He stepped on the lotus and rose to the sky. With the Heavenly Emperor's sword in his hand, he judged life and death. Heavenly Emperor order, human sword revolution. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The sword energy was like a tornado, soaring into the sky and coming in a frenzy. The soul-hooking devourer sensed the destructive power contained in the sword energy. He was stunned on the spot, and he was terrified. Impossible, impossible! As one of the 18 emperors of the underworld, how could he fall here? Go! He could only attack the incomplete formation in a hurry. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The soul-hooking devourer muddy sky formation was filled with bloody mist. It was like a giant mouth that devoured living beings. Meanwhile, Yi Chen stood alone in the bloody mist without fear. Is this your last fight? I'll grant you your wish. Heavenly Emperor order, Earth sword reversal. Yi Chen stomped on the ground with both feet and the ground shook. He suddenly slashed against the momentum and soared into the sky. Whoosh! The sword energy was extremely sharp, and it contained the killing rule. It was the judgment of heaven and earth. No one could stop it. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Blood filled the sky, and flesh and bones were everywhere. One sword cut through the chaos, and one sword cut through the evil. Accompanied by an incomparably shrill roar, the soul-hooking devourer's enormous body shattered in the sky, turning into endless blood rain that corroded the ground. Chapter 1996. The mist of blood dissipated. The gigantic body had been sliced into pieces by Yi Chen's sword, and fell to the ground. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. At that moment, the scattered pieces of flesh and blood began to converge and rush toward a certain direction. Yi Chen's eyes turned cold. He waved his finger and used Samadhi true fire to purify. Arg! The pained howl rang out again. The Soul Eater was trying to resurrect itself with its own secret technique. Just as the combination of sword energy and Samadhi true fire was about to burn away the Soul Eater's last hope, a huge python appeared in the sky. Whoosh! The python revealed itself and suddenly unleashed a torrent of attacks at Yi Chen. Rumble! Lightning flashed and muffled thunder boomed. The python devoured the entire land and disappeared without a trace. Yi Chen could sense the Emperor of the Underworld's energy on the python. He was certain that it was one of the 18 emperors. 18 emperors of the Underworld, come out and see me now, or I'll destroy the entire Underworld. Yi Chen's voice shook heaven and earth. Damn it! The Arch-Emperor roared. In his eyes, Yi Chen was too arrogant. Where would the face of the Underworld go? At that moment, the python returned and spat out a mouthful of flesh that contained the Soul Eater's primordial spirit. Soul Eater, I didn't expect you to enter a coffin as soon as you came out of seclusion. How disappointing, the Snake Queen said coldly, looking at the flesh and blood. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The flesh and blood began to change, growing and expanding, and green, poisonous blood seeped out. Finally, it turned into a strange man with an octopus head. Snake Queen, please calm down. After becoming an adult, he bowed to the Snake Queen. I had the Bone Emperor and the Corpse Emperor awaken the 9 emperors so that you could build your reputation. Now you've been chopped into minced meat by Yi Chen. What a joke. Snake Queen, this person is unfathomable. I was careless. I didn't save you to listen to this. Recuperate immediately. The mission is waiting for you. Yes. The Soul Eater left the hall in fear and returned to its own territory to recuperate. The Snake Queen and the Archemperor were left in the hall. "What do you think?" asked the Snake Queen. "Now that Yi Chen is unstoppable, he's also looking for the Netherlord. Why don't we go with the flow and help him find the Netherlord? When the Netherlord returns, he'll definitely kill Yi Chen. That's the best outcome," the Archemperor said. "Haha, that's not a bad idea. However, Su Yuhan is nowhere to be found. It won't be easy for the Netherlord to return. Snake Queen, when I went to the White Frost Forest earlier, I saw the power left behind by the Lord of the Underworld transforming into a frost lizard to assassinate Yi Chen. It's obvious that the Lord of the Underworld's consciousness has awakened. I don't think Su Yuhan can fight the Lord of the Underworld's consciousness. That makes sense. Go and prepare these things." With that, she handed a black jade slip to the Archemperor. Yes. The Archemperor immediately took action. "Ha ha, Yi Chen, you've really surprised me. You've actually cultivated to the conjoint body stage in such a short time. Your strength even far surpasses ordinary conjoint body stage cultivators. How many more surprises can you bring me?" As she spoke, the Snake Queen stretched out her arm to take a look. Several green snakes crawled out of her sleeves before disappearing into the darkness. Outside the Netherworld Temple, Yi Chen and the others were still waiting. "Fellow Taoist Yi, I think the 18 emperors of the Underworld won't dare to come out and fight you." "Indeed. They said that the Netherworld emperors also want the Netherlord to return. That should be true," Yi Chen said. The Patriarch nodded. "If even the Netherworld emperors don't know where the Netherlord is, how are we going to find him? We can only rely on the Netherchi crystals. Even if I have to search every inch of the Netherworld, I'll find Yuhan." "Ha ha, then we'll have to keep you company." The Patriarch laughed. "Thank you, Patriarch." Yi Chen revealed a smile, but he soon became serious. With every passing second, the danger of Su Yuhan's complete transformation increased. That was the most dangerous thing. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Suddenly, the giant python appeared above the clouds again. This time, there was a person standing on the head of the giant python. She was enchanting and charming. It was the Snake Queen. "Yi Chen." She called out to Yi Chen. "Who are you? Do you want to tell me where the Netherlord is?" Yi Chen asked. "It's true that we don't know where the Netherlord is, but we have the same goal. Why can't we work together?" "Work together?" Yi Chen's eyes gleamed coldly. "Don't be so hostile. We also want to find the Netherlord. You want to find your wife, don't you? So what if I do? Perhaps the Netherlord can be separated from Su Yuhan?" Yi Chen was shocked to hear that. "Are you serious? If the Netherlord could really be separated from Su Yuhan, that would be the best outcome. Of course. This is the method that I read in the ancient books of the Netherworld. The Netherlord is the reincarnation of the primordial spirit. As long as there's a perfect body, the Netherlord's primordial spirit will return to the body. Then, Su Yuhan can return to her original form." Yi Chen thought that it was possible after hearing what the Snake Queen said. Of course, he would not believe it easily. After all, this person's charming eyes and enchanting figure gave people a feeling of disbelief. "So, do you have the body?" "Ha ha ha, that's why I'm looking for you this time." "Oh! I need your help to forge the body that the Netherlord returns to." "How can I help you?" "You have the immortal demonic power." Yi Chen's eyes turned cold when he heard the Snake Queen's words. She seemed to know many secrets. "Since you know, I won't hide it." As he spoke, Yi Chen released the immortal demonic power. Black and white energy soared into the sky. Since the Snake Queen had revealed this secret, the forging of the Netherlord's body would definitely require this power. Yi Chen might as well release it directly to convince the Snake Queen. That way, Yi Chen would be of great value to them and many things would be easier in the future. "Very well, it's this power. The Netherlord has returned to forge the immortal demonic fusion body. Yi Chen, our cooperation is the best outcome. This way, you can move freely in the netherworld and even get my help. Oh? Is it that simple? These are the words of the Snake Queen. I'll definitely carry it out in the netherworld. Alright, I'll believe you. However, if you dare to lie to me, don't blame me for peeling off your snake scales. Ha ha ha, I really hope that one day, I can lie in your arms and let you skin me. Let's go. Hearing the Snake Queen's tempting words, Yi Chen turned around coldly and the three of them left. Ha ha, what an interesting man. He's really to my liking. The Snake Queen looked at Yi Chen's departing figure with a look of greed. Her tongue kept licking her lips, and her eyes revealed the desire of a snake person. Chapter 1997. With Yi Chen's departure, the Snake Empress finally settled the matter. Congratulations, Snake Empress, for quelling Yi Chen's rebellion. Many underworld combatants came out and bowed. Many things don't have to be solved by force. Cooperate with Yi Chen to find Su Yuhan and inform me immediately if there's any news. Yes. Everyone acted. After leaving the underworld temple, Yi Chen and the Patriarch continued to search for Su Yuhan. With the effect of the nether energy crystals, Yi Chen could only find a general direction. It would take a long time to find Su Yuhan. After all, the Lord's energy was erratic and difficult to figure out. No one expected that at the same time at the entrance to the underworld. Rumble. The earth trembled as the True Spirit Temple descended again. This time, the True Spirit Temple sent out almost all of its elite. Even countless ordinary combatants came. The Lord of True Spirit was going all out this time because he wanted to show off his abilities in front of perfected being Thundercloud and gain his attention. Who are you? At this moment, the underworld army guarding 3,000 feet came forward to question. However, the True Spirit Lord laughed wildly and struck out with his palm. Rumble. The huge palm descended like a mountain opening a path. The entire army was instantly reduced to flesh and bones. Mighty Spirit Lord. Many Spirit World powerhouses exclaimed in admiration. This time, the True Spirit Lord not only mobilized all the True Spirit Temple combatants but also many people from other forces in the spirit realm. This time, they must conquer the underworld. Let's go. Yes. Everyone boarded the sword boat and charged toward the underworld army. Rumble. Under the True Spirit Lord's powerful attack, the underworld gate could no longer resist and shattered on the spot. The huge sword boat passed through the underworld gate and entered the underworld. The Demon Hall. Reporting to the Devil Lord, the True Spirit Temple's army has arrived at the underworld. The balance of the three realms has been broken. A Devil Lord stepped forward and reported. Ha ha ha, the True Spirit Lord's ambition is revealed. He wants to obtain the core of the three realms alone? Impossible. The Devil Lord suddenly stood up, his eyes filled with excitement. The War of the Three Realms was the moment of the Devil World's rise. He had long wanted this effect. Gather all the Devil World elites and prepare for battle. Yes. After the experts of the Devil World left, the Devil World sovereign headed towards a secret location. There was an incomparably tall altar here. At the same time, it was surrounded by grand statues of demon gods. Chi. He cut his finger and released his blood onto the altar. As the blood flowed onto the sacrificial altar, with the help of the Madra, the blood turned into streaks of blood and began to spread along specific veined patterns. It was very strange. Chi. As the blood spread out, it formed a huge demon god seal. Boom! Then, the demon god statue on the altar began to rumble. Following that, a huge demonic consciousness descended on the demon god statue. Boundless devil, what's the matter? A heavy sound and a majestic might instantly caused the entire world to tremble, and the surroundings became incredibly strange. Demon Lord. The ruler of the demon realm actually knelt on the ground and bowed piously. Turned out that the devil realm was just a small world of the devil race. The real devil race's upper realm communicated their intentions through the devil god statue. This time, I wish to repay the Three Realms core. The Three Realms core has already become the target of contention between the devil realm, the spirit realm, and the divine realm. This time, the Lord of the True Spirit has mobilized all the elites of the spirit realm to attack the divine realm. This must be an order from the primordial immortal empire. Has the primordial immortal empire really made a move? I believe there will be definite news very soon. The Three Realms core concerns the convergence of the devil realm, the spirit realm, and the divine realm. I order you to act immediately. Thank you for your trust, Demon Lord. Boundless Devil bowed again, and the demon god's seal gradually extinguished, and then dissipated. Let the great war begin. Previously, the devil realm had not gained any advantage in the 6 immortal and demon technique. In this great war of the 3 realms, Boundless Devil would definitely avenge himself. Walking out of the altar, Boundless Devil flew up to the sky and landed on the plaza. All elites of the devil realm, now is the time for you to achieve your goals. The demon lord of the upper realm has ordered us to attack the divine realm and carry out the great war of the 3 realms. Roar, roar, roar! Hearing this, countless devil realm warriors roared in anger. They were all warlike people, and were naturally excited to receive such an order. All experts, follow me to invade the divine realm and fight for the 3 realms core. Yes. The sky was filled with devil realm elite. The devil realm's advantage lay in their numbers. This time, they would trample all their enemies with their iron hooves. Rumble! A huge sword boat appeared before them, and countless devil realm warriors boarded it. 3,000 zhang of the Yellow Springs. ZZZ! A huge devil realm sword boat appeared in the sky, with Boundless Devil personally holding the line. Not good, hide quickly! Seeing such a shocking scene, the 3,000 zhang of the Yellow Springs controlled the Yellow Springs. The Yellow Springs sect people hurriedly ordered their people to hide, but they were already a step too late. Human trash, die. Boundless Devil struck out with a palm, heading straight for the Yellow Springs sect people. Get out of the way! Yellow Springs Taoist stepped forward to block, but how could he be Boundless Devil's match? Unable to withstand the might of the Yellow Springs, his body exploded and he died. With a scream, Yellow Springs Taoist's body turned into countless pieces of blood and flesh. Seeing such a scene, everyone was stunned. They had not expected the devil realm to be so cruel, not giving the humans any chance at all. Everyone, get out of here! There was no other way. At this moment, they could only leave as many people as they could. No one cared about the foundation of the Yellow Springs. This place had become the battlefield of the spirit realm, the demon realm, and the netherworld. No one could survive here. Destroy them all. In order to get revenge on Yi Chen, the spirit emperor, and Boundless Devil flew up into the sky and unleashed their slaughter divine ability. Devil extermination, Devil Dragon Devour, roar! The 2 horns on Boundless Devil's head glowed with strange light, which transformed into 2 devil dragons that began to devour everyone. No. Agony! Countless experts fell under the demon dragon's attack. Rivers of blood flowed in the Yellow Springs sect, and mountains of corpses piled up. It had truly become the Yellow Springs Gate, the entrance to hell. Let's go. Rumble! The slaughter was complete, and the enormous devil boat shot down into the Yellow Springs sect, the gate to the netherworld. The spirit boat and the devil boat entered the netherworld at the same time, and the entire netherworld was shaken. In the netherworld palace, Snake Empress, exalted Snake Empress, an expert from the netherworld flew into the palace. What's the fuss? The Archemperor asked angrily. Not good. Not good. The spirit realm and devil realm are invading at the same time. What? The Archemperor's face fell. Chapter 1998. There's actually such a thing? The Snake Queen was equally shocked. That bastard Lord Truesoul must have attracted the attention of the demonic sovereign. We should have killed him, the Archemperor said. There's no point talking about this now. Summon the Corpse King and Bone King. Summon all the 9 emperors. Kill anyone who disobeys. Yes, the underworld experts carried out the order. Only the Snake Queen and the Archemperor remained in the hall. Your Excellency, it seems that the War of the Three Realms is inevitable. It's just that it's going to happen in the underworld, which is very bad for us. That's right. The Lord Truesoul and the demonic sovereign want to make a good impression in the upper world and ascend. That's why the Three Realms Core is the best way for them to do that. All 18 emperors must go to war. I wonder if Yi Chen will be on our side. Well, Yi Chen's image appeared in the Snake Queen's mind. I think he will. Then, a strange smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. Back in the abyss, the Corpse King and the Bone King were still trying to figure out how to summon more people. Bone King, Corpse King, the Snake Queen has ordered us to summon all the 9 emperors. What? Just summoning one Soul Eater was enough to kill them, and now they had to summon all the 9 emperors? That's an order. Kill anyone who disobeys. Damn it! The Corpse King and the Bone King were furious, but since it was an order, they had to carry it out. We understand. Go. Yes. After the messenger left, the Corpse King and the Bone King headed into the depths of the abyss. At a lake in the demonic abyss, the two stopped in their track. You must have sensed it, right? The Corpse King asked. Of course. This order is no coincidence. The spirit realm and the demonic sovereign are coming to the underworld at the same time. It's going to be a war of the 3 realms. The 3 realms core is a scourge. If it weren't for it, how could the underworld be targeted? There's no other way. Carry out the order. AI. Left with no other choice, the two of them unleashed their secret technique. At this moment, the demonic arc and the spirit arc appeared in the void at the same time. Even though they were separated by tens of thousands of miles, the Lord of True Spirit and the Sovereign Lord of the demonic world could sense each other. I didn't think that the Sovereign Lord of the demon realm would come as well. A cold look appeared on Lord True Spirit's face. Although he had thought of this before, he did not expect the ruler of the Devil Realm to come so quickly. It was possible that the ruler of the Devil Realm had taken action immediately after the True Spirit Palace had entered. Given their speed, it was possible that the ruler of the Devil Realm knew where the target of the spiritual realm was. Spirit Lord, has our target been exposed? It seems so. The core of the 3 realms has become something on the surface. Since that's the case, let's have a war of the 3 realms and let the immortals of the upper world see the strength of the True Spirit Hall. Yes, Spirit Lord. Many experts cupped their hands in acknowledgement. This was their best chance to rise. As long as they grasped it, ascending to the primordial immortal empire was just around the corner. Immediately send out scouts to track the demonic boat. Yes. Soon, the experts sent by the True Spirit Palace rushed toward the entrance of the netherworld. On a peak in the underworld, Yi Chen and the other 2 stood alone. Fellow Taoist Yi, did you sense it? The patriarch looked into the distance with a solemn expression. Yes, the demon realm and the spirit realm are invading at the same time. I didn't expect that. It seems that the core of the 3 realms that the True Spirit Lord told me about is very important. I believe that it must be the source of the strongest power of the 3 tribulations. Yi Chen had thought about it for a long time. The True Spirit Lord was the master of a realm. It was unreasonable for him to take the risk to enter the underworld alone. This time, the arrival of 2 great cultivation levels indicated the problem. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Yi Chen opened his fiery eye and instantly locked onto the void. At this time, 2 huge masses of energy appeared at the same time. It was the True Spirit Lord and Mo Wujiang. In this way, with Yi Chen, the 3 huge masses of energy formed a triangular shape, facing each other. Above the Buddha pagoda in the underworld, the Snake Queen appeared at the same time. Yi Chen occupied the position of the Azure Dragon in the east, the Snake Queen occupied the position of the White Tiger in the west, the True Spirit Lord occupied the position of the Vermilion Bird in the south, and the Demon Realm Overlord occupied the position of the Black Tortoise in the north. The Starry Sky Phenomenon, 4 symbols rising at the same time. True Spirit Lord, Mo Wujiang, you dare to invade the underworld? The Snake Queen was the first to speak. The 1,000-mile voice transmission reached 10,000 miles away. Ha ha, so it's the underworld Snake Queen. Hand over the core of the 3 realms and the demon realm will withdraw immediately. We'll even help you destroy the True Spirit Palace and Yi Chen. Mo Wujiang laughed loudly. Ridiculous, Snake Queen. The True Spirit Palace can also offer the same conditions, the True Spirit Lord said. So the underworld has become the ruler. Yi Chen, what do you think? The Snake Queen looked to the east and asked. I'll only fulfill our agreement. Snake Queen, I don't think you'll go back on your word? The Snake Queen did not expect Yi Chen to change the topic and turn the tables. What, you have an agreement? The True Spirit Lord and Mo Wujiang were furious. This is a private matter. It has nothing to do with the core of the 3 realms. Ha ha ha, don't hide it anymore. In that case, Snake Queen, we'll find the core ourselves. I should have known that the war of the 3 realms was inevitable. How could I trust you? In an instant, the underworld, the spirit realm, and the devil realm fell apart. It was extremely difficult to cooperate. After all, this was the underworld, the Snake Queen's territory. The True Spirit Lord and Mo Wujiang naturally did not trust her. Hearing that she was cooperating with Yi Chen, they could not bear it. The True Spirit Lord and Mo Wujiang did not have a good impression of Yi Chen. They had suffered greatly at his hands. Sigh, what a pity! The Snake Queen's voice suddenly changed. Since the other party had no intention of cooperating, as the representative of the underworld, she naturally would not yield. Wait for your death. Mo Wujiang roared angrily. Although the connection was severed. Snake Queen, the True Spirit Palace only wants the core of the 3 realms. Also, I have to tell you that the primordial immortal world has received the news. An almighty will descend soon. Can you resist? Ah! Following the wild laughter, the True Spirit Lord severed the connection at the same time. The primordial immortal world. The Snake Queen turned pale with fright. If they really wanted someone to descend, then things would be troublesome. Subsequently, Yi Chen severed the connection without waiting for the Snake Queen's reply. He did not care how many forces came, no matter how many powerhouses came. He only had one goal, and that was to find Su Yuhan. The war of the 3 realms was imminent. Once Su Yuhan returned to her underworld lord state, she would only become a sacrifice. This was an outcome that Yi Chen did not want to see no matter what. We have to find Yuhan before the Snake Queen. No problem, fellow Yi. I'll definitely help you. Alright, let's go. The 3 of them flew out. Under the guidance of the Nether Energy Crystal, their speed was several times faster than before. Chapter 1999. While Yi Chen was searching for Su Yuhan, the underworld, the spirit realm, and the devil realm had begun their 3-way battle. On the spirit vessel. Buzz buzz buzz. As the light screen turned on, Sage Lei Yun's image appeared again. Sage Lei Yun, we've entered the underworld and are confronting the devil realm and the underworld. Lord True Spirit personally reported the situation. Ha ha ha, very good. The 3 realms core is the key. We must find it, Sage Lei Yun said. Rest assured, Sage Lei Yun. This time, the elites of the spirit realm are all out. We swear to destroy the devil realm and the underworld. Maintain the dignity of the spirit realm, but be careful, especially before my clone arrives. Don't be reckless. Yes, Sage Lei Yun. As the light screen disappeared, Lord True Spirit revealed a smug expression. Fellow spirit realm combatants, Our operation this time is supported by the primordial immortal realm. This is a good opportunity for us to make a contribution. Don't worry, Spirit Master. We swear to make a contribution and win glory for the true Spirit Temple. Ha ha ha, I understand your intentions very well. I'm going to launch an operation against the Devil Realm immediately. Lord True Spirit laughed. In order to deal with the underworld and obtain the three realms' core, the Devil Realm's worries would be resolved. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Before the huge spirit vessel, dozens of small spirit vessels appeared. Each vessel could only carry dozens of people. This was Lord True Spirit's ambush plan. Spirit Soul, it's up to you this time. Yes. Spirit Soul had recovered from his injuries. Now was the time for excitement. He led the many combatants onto the small vessels and headed toward the demonic vessels. High up in the sky of the underworld there was a floating peak. The demonic vessels were resting on this floating peak, surrounded by mountains that were easy to defend and difficult to attack. Buzz buzz buzz. As the light screen flickered, the Spirit Vessel Assault Team had arrived. Lord Spirit Soul, what should we do? A combatant asked. We'll destroy the surveillance posts around the Devil Realm first. Remember, this operation is very crucial. We must not leave any traces. Yes. Many combatants boarded the small vessels and began to enter stealth mode. They were using the invisibility talismans created by the Lord of True Spirit. These talismans contained immortal spells that could make them invisible for a moment. Buzz buzz buzz. Dozens of small boats entered stealth mode and headed toward the surveillance sentry posts around the magic ship. Within a radius of 100 miles around the demonic boat, there were sentries set up everywhere. These people from the Devil World were stationed on the surrounding mountains, constantly monitoring the surroundings. Is there a situation? No, the Sovereign Lord has personally descended upon the ship. Who would dare to invade? Ah. Very good. Very soon, we'll be able to follow the Lord Juggernaut to flatten the Netherworld, destroy the Spirit Realm, and become the overlords of the three realms. Everyone from the Spirit World was furious when they heard the conversation between the Devil World's powerhouses. What a bunch of idiot! They actually want to destroy the Spirit Realm. Damn it. That's right, get rid of this bunch of trash. The people of the spiritual realm were infuriated, and they controlled their small boats to reveal themselves. Kill. Battle cries rang out and the mountain peak collapsed. On the spirit boat, countless spiritual energy rays rushed over, instantly destroying the entire surveillance sentry post. All sorts of screams rang out. Many of the Devil World's experts were caught off guard and were already heavily injured. Ha ha ha, the demon world is only at this level? The experts of the spiritual world laughed and shouted. Damn it, it's someone from the spirit world. Kill. Immediately, the chaotic battle alarmed the core members of the Devil World on the demonic boat. In the main hall of the demonic boat, a light screen floated in the air, and it was the scene of the battle at the sentry post below. I didn't expect that the people of the spirit world would really dare to attack us. A Devil World's powerhouse said angrily. A bunch of people who came to die. Why bother? The Devil World Sovereign sneered. Lord Sovereign, why don't you let me lead everyone out and kill this bunch of trash? There's no need to rush. I'll let you continue to put on a show. It won't be too late to kill the leader when he appears. Lord Sovereign is wise. Many Devil World's powerhouses bowed. The battle at the sentry post continued. The people of the Devil World were not prepared and hastily fought, resulting in heavy losses. Tens of thousands of devil warriors died under the spiritual energy rays of the spirit boat. Ha! The people of the Devil World are really trash. They want to fight against the spirit world? What a joke! The small boat contains the Spirit Lord's immortal technique. When the spiritual energy rays shoot out, all demons will bow. Hundreds of Spirit World's powerhouses revealed proud smiles. In their eyes, the people of the Devil World were throwing away their helmets and armor. Such a scene was too carefree. Boom. There was a tremor, and the spirit world descended. Why did you suddenly attack? This is what happened. Someone told them what the devil world sentries had said to the spirit world. ****, we are the assault team. Won't this expose our operation? Everyone was shocked. They did not think that much. Retreat immediately. Although Ling Huo was also an impulsive person, he still had a brain. He immediately realized that the situation was not right. This was the base camp of the devil world. They had an absolute advantage in terms of combat power. They did not attack until now. Clearly, they were waiting for an opportunity. Ha ha ha! Just as Ling Huo was about to lead everyone to retreat, someone laughed wildly in the void. Who is it? Ling Huo roared. One of the devil world's 10 killing generals, Shui Luosha. However, there was a roar. Above the clouds, blood clouds rolled, demonic energy shot into the sky, and descended. Rumble! With a shocking explosion, a peak directly collapsed, turning into a flat mountain with Shui Luosha standing alone on it. Ling Huo frowned and stared at Shui Luosha. It's a Mahayana expert. His heart trembled violently. This person's strength was far beyond his expectations. Clearly, they had fallen into a trap. You idiots, you tricked me! While everyone was puzzled, tens of thousands of demonic experts jumped out from the countless peaks. They were all elite demonic warriors, and their combat power was far above theirs. Roar! 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 The demonic army roared furiously, shocking the surroundings. For a moment, the assault team was completely surrounded. Ha ha, Ling Huo, we already know who you are. How dare you attack the sentry? Damn it! Shui Luosha laughed and shouted. Shui Luosha, you die first. Ling Huo knew that the only thing he could do now was to break out of the encirclement. Otherwise, he would die. Aura manifestation. With a roar, Ling Huo released his natal soul. With a flash of spiritual light, the 7 statues protected him. These statues were constantly releasing the light of flesh and blood. Ling Huo was originally a heretical cultivator. He was later taken in by the Lord of True Spirit and started cultivating the spiritual world. Now that he was in such a dangerous situation, he could only return to his old ways. Seeing the 7 statues, Shui Luosha revealed a look of interest. I didn't expect a trash like you to be a heretical cultivator. Good, very good. Ha! Shui Luosha flew out. Next, her body flashed with blood light and her body expanded rapidly, reaching a height of 100 feet. Chapter 2000. Seeing the giant-like Shui Luosha, Ling Hun's heart shuddered and he lost control of himself. At that moment, the only thing keeping him going was his survival instincts. Lord Ling Hun, what do we do? Someone asked. Bastard! If it weren't for you bunch of idiots, would this have happened? Ling Hun was enraged, and he sent out a palm strike, instantly killing that person. Arg! Everyone was shocked. Before them was Shui Luosha, who was like a ghost. Behind them was Ling Hun, who was killing in a fit of rage. This situation left them in despair. Ling Hun, you coward! Are you trying to overcome your fear by killing your fellow sect members? Ha ha ha! What a bunch of trash! Shui Luosha's voice was like thunder, shocking the hearts of everyone present. Even Ling Hun's ears started bleeding due to her voice. It was an unbearable pain. Shui Luosha, you're courting death. Ling Hun knew that he could only fight. He mobilized the 7 statues and they charged at Shui Luosha. You think you can deal with me with just this much magic power? However, who was Shui Luosha? She grasped with her hand and Kacha. One of the statues exploded in the air. This power! Ling Hun's heart shuddered. This person's power had surpassed the limits of her fleshly body. She was simply a monster. Kacha! 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 Next, Shui Luosha crushed all 7 statues. They were simply useless against her. 7 souls return. In such a dire situation, Ling Hun unleashed his secret technique, and the shattered statues were reformed by the bloody light, transforming into a bloody giant. So, Ling Hun stood on the head of the giant, confronting Xue Luosha. Xue Luosha, what do you think now? Idiot! You're still going to die. Xue Luosha flew forward. Every step she took would shatter a mountain. The entire mountain range was flattened by Xue Luosha. Roar! 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 Seeing that, the many experts of the demon race roared out in support of Xue Luosha. Ha ha ha! Xue Luosha laughed as she charged at Ling Hun and the giant. 7 Souls Bloody Radiance, kill! Ling Hun released the 7 Souls Bloody Radiance, and the giant statue opened its mouth. Instantly, countless rays of bloody radiance shot towards Xue Luosha. Ha ha ha! You want to deal with me, Xue Luosha? You are truly an idiot. Xue Luosha stopped moving. Next, a shocking scene unfolded. A large mouth appeared on Xue Luosha's abdomen. Next, it sucked in. Hoo! All of the bloody light was sucked into the huge mouth by Xue Luosha. Roar! The huge mouth let out an angry roar and stuck out a huge tongue to lick the blood at the corner of its mouth. Ling Hun was dumbfounded. The other party's strength was far above his. Charge! We're going to carve out a path of blood. This. What? Kill them or I'll kill you all. Yes. Everyone had no choice but to charge forward with all their might. Xue Luosha's sky-shaking laughter rang out from the sky. Next, Xue Luosha charged towards the fleet of spirit boat. Chi! Bloody tentacles kept emerging from Xue Luosha's body, and the experts from the spirit plane were all caught by the tentacles. Next, they were tossed into the gigantic mouth. Kacha! All the cultivators from the spirit plane who were thrown into the mouth could only hear the sounds of their bones and muscles breaking. The sharp teeth of the gigantic mouth were like blades, and they kept cutting the bodies of the cultivators there. Blood flowed out like a flood, and it was a gruesome sight to behold. Finally, Ling Hun could no longer hold on and he knelt on the ground. Is that all you got? Ling Hun, you are a disgrace to the heretical cultivators. Ha ha ha! Xue Luosha's body was drenched in bloody light. She looked at Ling Hun, who was kneeling on the ground, and laughed. Ling Hun had failed completely. He no longer had any dignity as a martial artist. He had lost his personality. Die! Xue Luosha unleashed a fatal blow, wanting to end him. Stop! Suddenly, a command came from the sky. Hearing that, Xue Luosha immediately stopped. Lord Ruler, are we not going to kill him? This person is useful. Yes. Hurry up and thank the Lord Ruler for sparing his life. Ling Hun abruptly raised his head and saw the massive image of the demon plane ruler appearing in the sky. So. He crawled over on his knees and kowtowed to the demon plane ruler. Take him away. Yes. Xue Luosha returned to her original form. Then, a demon plane powerhouse came over and took Ling Hun into the demonic boat. Looking at the torn flesh and broken limbs around him, Ling Hun's legs turned to jelly. Relying on the sound of the nether energy crystal, Yi Chen and the other two arrived at the underworld, the source of the Emperor of Hell mountain range, Ancestor Peak. On the towering sky peak in the distance, 2 huge words written in black blood emitted a shocking aura that soared into the sky. Ancestor Peak? The patriarch pinched his beard and mumbled. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The nether energy crystal constantly emitted intense vibrations. It was obvious that there was an extremely powerful lord of the underworld's aura here. There must be something in Ancestor Peak. Let's go. All right. The 3 of them fearlessly walked into the mountains. Roar. Suddenly, a dragon's roar came from Ancestor Peak, shaking the surroundings. Yi Chen focused his eyes and looked into the distance. He saw chaos. There seemed to be some powerful chaotic energy stirring the clouds above Ancestor Peak. However, He did not care about that. He only wanted to find Suyuhan. It did not matter even if he went to hell. At that moment, a strange beast flew in the clouds. It flapped its wings and 3 tails appeared behind it. It was the underworld hellbird. Return, return. After Yi Chun and the other 2 entered the Ancestor Peak, the hellbird spoke. Walking into the Ancestor Peak mountain range, Yi Chun realized that the surrounding environment was extremely confusing. Even after taking a few steps, the environment seemed to have changed completely. They could not see the road ahead clearly. Fellow Yi, the road we came from has completely disappeared. We've only walked for less than a minute, the patriarch said. It's strange indeed. This might be the Ancestor Peak's self-protection mechanism or some kind of formation. As he spoke, Yi Chun took out the 8-gate disc. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The disc spun and released divine light. Countless dark lines appeared before everyone's eyes. What are these? Looking at the dark lines embedded in the ley line that seemed to have a life of their own, constantly vibrating back and forth, the patriarch and Wu Shuang were shocked. They had never seen such a thing before. What was it? Yi Chun looked at the dark lines and looked up at the peak at the same time. His mind raced. He activated the power of the Gate of Judgment and imbued it into his mind space. Instantly there was a violent reaction. Buzz, buzz, buzz. In his mind, these dark lines continued to extend until they reached the deepest part of Ancestor Peak and then gathered on a strange dark object. This is... Yi Chun was shocked. The dark object was oval in shape and it kept beating like a heart. Chapter 2001. Ancestor Peak was the origin of the Netherworld. Everything here was filled with strange colors. What Yi Chun saw was even more so. The energy that emanated from it made Yi Chun feel like it was interacting with the pool of darkness in his body. What on earth is this? Yi Chun stood alone in the darkness, staring at the pulsating black object. Don't go near it. Fellow Yi, what did you find? There's a very strange heart in the deepest part of it. Heart? The patriarch's mind was in chaos. He did not understand what Yi Chun meant. After all, he could not see the black object. Only Yi Chun could. All right, we'll stand guard for you. Knowing that Yi Chun needed to meditate, the patriarch and Wu Shuang stood guard outside. Above the Netherworld Temple. What? Yi Chun has gone to Ancestor Peak? The Snake Queen looked shocked. Yes, Your Excellency. Yi Chun has followed the guidance of the Nether Crystals to Ancestor Peak. Is the Lord of the Netherworld really at Ancestor Peak? Go to Ancestor Peak immediately. That's the origin of the Netherworld. We can't let Yi Chun destroy it. Yes. The Netherworld combatants carried out the order. The Snake Queen's expression was solemn. The Archemperor stepped forward. Snake Queen, what's in Ancestor Peak? No need to ask. Go now. This is... The Archemperor frowned slightly. He could sense that the Snake Queen was hiding something. As one of the upper 9 sovereigns, did he not have the right to know? But now that the Snake Queen was in charge, he could only cooperate. The Snake Queen went alone to the resting place of the upper 9 sovereigns. The nether energy here was so thick that even people of the Netherworld, unless they were super fighters, would not be able to withstand the pressure and would explode. Only those at the Mahayana stage were qualified to enter. Tap, tap, tap. The Snake Queen's footsteps sounded. She walked in the darkness, thinking about how to explain Yi Chun's journey. Several demon cocoons appeared in front of her. These were the slumbering sovereigns. The Snake Queen stretched out her hand, and a poisonous snake flew toward one of the cocoons. The snake climbed onto the cocoon and began to release information with nether energy. The information seeped into the cocoon and soon the cocoon reacted. Thump, thump, thump. The demonic cocoon pulsated as if it was connected by blood. Then, a dark figure could be seen inside. Snake Queen. A heavy voice rang out and entered the ears of the Snake Queen. Lord Indra, someone has entered Ancestral Peak. Boom. The demon cocoon shook violently. Indra was already enraged. You know very well what's inside Ancestral Peak. How should you punish yourself for letting someone enter? Yes, this subordinate knows his mistake. The Snake Queen knelt on the ground, not daring to raise her head. I'll come out of seclusion immediately. Head to Ancestor Peak and stop that person. Yes. The Snake Queen stood up and quickly disappeared. At the Ancestral Peak, Yi Chen was still trying to comprehend the pulse in the darkness. It was definitely transmitting some kind of message, but it was difficult to understand. Yi Chen unleashed the power of his origin of darkness and began to merge with the darkness. His body gradually dissipated and turned into the origin of darkness, extending towards the depths of the Ancestral Peak. Sure enough, the power of the origin of darkness was homologous to the surrounding power, so it was no longer repelled. Yi Chen disguised himself perfectly and turned himself into the origin of darkness itself. Chi chi chi. The source of darkness's body had turned into a mass of dark matter that kept extending forward. The deeper one went, the more clearly one could feel that pulsation. The demon's heart. Suddenly, this name appeared in Yi Chen's mind. It turned out that the dark object was the demon's heart. It contained a large amount of information. Through analyzing the origin of darkness, Yi Chen received many revelations. The demon's heart was the key to opening the underworld, and the underworld was the true origin of the underworld. In this case, the Snake Queen will definitely not let me come here. Looks like I have to hurry. After receiving this information, Yi Chen immediately understood what he should do. Relying on the power of the origin of darkness, Yi Chen successfully came to a cold cave. An altar appeared in front of this cave, and there seemed to be a strange spatial door on the altar. Yi Chen returned to his original appearance, but his body was covered in scales of the origin of darkness. This way, his appearance was still that of an underworld almighty. On the altar, 3 candles suddenly appeared, illuminating the surrounding space. Yi Chen looked at the altar and found that there were countless ancient characters of the underworld on the altar. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Yi Chen's eyes flashed with a dark light. His eyes turned into the darkness eye and looked at the characters on the altar. Sure enough, in this state, Yi Chen could understand these characters. The characters turned into smoke and drifted into the air, then turned into various information that entered Yi Chen's eyes. Sacrifice to open the demon's gate. The demon's heart, the belief of the underworld, the supreme existence, obtain the demon's heart, control the underworld. All kinds of information flew into Yi Chen's mind. The amount of information was huge. However, Yi Chen was a character whose brain had evolved into a thinking space. To him, this information was a piece of cake. After receiving this information, Yi Chen knew that he must obtain the demon's heart. If Su Yuhan really became the lord of the underworld, he might be able to save her with the demon's heart. Yi Chen did not say anything and immediately released his blood to begin the sacrifice. Drip, drip, drip. As the blood dripped onto the altar, various patterns appeared in the surroundings. These patterns were runes. The runes were filled with blood and then flowed into the altar. Hiss, hiss, hiss. As the blood flowed into the altar, a strange painting finally appeared on the altar. It was drawn with Yi Chen's blood. Then Yi Chen suddenly saw the demon's heart. It floated in front of him. In an instant, waves of powerful psyche power almost made Yi Chen lose consciousness. How dare you? Yi Chen frowned. His eyes shone with the heavenly emperor's light. In an instant, the might of heaven and earth broke the demon's heart's control. However, at the same time, the demon's heart showed signs of rejection, preventing Yi Chen from getting closer. Yi Chen was in a dilemma. If he forcefully took the demon's heart, he might be controlled by the other party. However, if he did not get closer, he would lose a chance to save Su Yuhan. He must not give up. Come on. Yi Chen opened his arms and faced the demon's heart with the posture of a sacrifice. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The demon's heart emitted a strange light. The strange light instantly entered Yi Chen's eyes. Subsequently, Yi Chen's eyes turned completely black. Then, it turned into a bottomless abyss and finally evolved into a super black hole. It was extremely terrifying. Ugh! Yi Chen felt that his psyche was about to be destroyed. In fact, he already knew that this was the sacrifice that the demon's heart needed. Chapter 2002. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Yi Chen's entire body was wrapped in dark lightning, especially on his head. Countless darkness factors were eroding his mind. This was how the demon's heart parasitized him. It parasitized Yi Chen and turned him into its puppet. Ha ha ha, I can help you fulfill any wish, Yi Chen. Here, you'll become my most devoted servant. Let's merge into one and rule the world. Let me help you find your own wife and bring you happiness. The demon's heart began to bewitch Yi Chen. It had already occupied Yi Chen's mind and extracted enough information. Finding Su Yuhan was Yi Chen's greatest wish. His will would collapse because of this. This was the demon's heart's reality. Ah! As the demonic voice continued to disturb his mind, Yi Chen fell into chaos and confusion. Such powerful talent is the best vessel. You'll become the god's chosen son. Yi Chen, this is your greatest honor. Give it up. Let's achieve the god's supreme achievement together. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The darkness factor that devoured consciousness began its final attack. The demon's heart contained the god's gene. This was the god's greatest secret. Yi Chen's roar soared into the sky. The entire ancestor peak shook and rumbled. This supreme power instantly attracted the attention of the three parties. The Snake Queen was extremely nervous. She knew that Yi Chen must have come into contact with the demon's heart and even wanted to find the core of the three realms. These were all treasures that she wanted to protect. On the spirit boat, the true Spirit Lord looked into the distance and sensed this supreme power. At the same time, the Demon Lord also sensed it. Both of them looked toward the source of the power. Full speed ahead. Both of them set a destination for the spirit boat and the demonic boat and rushed forward. On the spirit boat and the demonic boat were the elites of the two realms. At the same time, the Snake Queen led many sovereigns to ride the nether beasts toward Ancestor Peak. The three major forces were about to meet again. This time, it was because of Yi Chen. In Ancestor Peak, Yi Chen was still controlled by the demon's heart. However, his martial will was too strong. The demon's heart tried to forcibly erase his memory many times but failed. Such talent. Too powerful, too powerful. However, after realizing Yi Chen's superb talent, the demon's heart became even more excited. It contained the god's divine consciousness. Secret decree of the god of the underworld, purge. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. An even more powerful darkness force descended to erase Yi Chen's memory completely. This was the only way to make him an absolute blank so that he could be completely controlled. Just when the Nether God's divine telekinesis was about to erase Yi Chen's memory, the Heavenly Emperor's projection appeared behind Yi Chen. Zzz. The Heavenly Emperor's shadow showed Yi Chen's original body. Its supreme might intimidated the evil demon's heart. The devil's heart skipped a beat. He had only thought that Yi Chen was a peerless talent, but he did not expect that Yi Chen still had his original body. This meant that Yi Chen was the reincarnation of a super powerhouse. Heavenly Emperor's light, heavenly realm. The demon's heart transformed into the shadow of the Nether God, wanting to resist the light of the Heavenly Emperor. The god of the underworld and the celestial emperor, the two strongest people, were fighting head-on. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Holy lightning and dark lightning entangled and clashed in the void. Boom, boom, boom. The boundless power caused the ancestral peak to completely collapse. Shock waves swept out for thousands of miles, instantly impacting everyone on the spirit boat and demonic boat. Screams rang out incessantly, blood flowed like a river, and bones piled up like a mountain. Just a single shockwave had such power. Whether it was the true spirit lord or the devil realm ruler, they felt the heaviest psychological shock. If the two rulers were like this, then the so-called combatants were even more so. They fell into boundless chaos, their minds almost collapsing. Oh no! The true Spirit Lord released his immortal power and forcibly called their consciousness back. On the demonic boat, the Devil Realm ruler did the same, but there were still many demons who had completely fallen, becoming slaves of the Devil's heart or the light of the Heavenly Emperor. Above the ancestral peak, the power of gods and demons filled the sky, shocking the world. Seeing this scene, the Snake Queen was shocked. She felt that the situation had gone beyond her control. If Yi Chen was devoured by the Devil's heart, then the underworld might also fall. The terror of the Devil's heart had long been known from the ancient books of the underworld. This was a taboo legend of the underworld. Finally, the three major forces, the Underworld Snake Queen, the Spirit Realm Lord, and the Devil Realm Ruler arrived at the ancestral peak at the same time. Yi Chen, give up resisting. I'll let you meet Su Yuhan. The Devil's heart felt that it could not be taken by force and was confused again. Where is she? Let her come back to me. Yi Chen roared. He seemed to have gone mad. His mind was suffering unimaginable torture. It was like falling into a Vichy hell, but he could not give up. For Su Yuhan, he had to pull himself together. Under such extremely unfavorable conditions, he had to fight the Devil's heart. Ha ha ha, there's no harm in letting you see her. Suddenly, the Devil's heart returned to the shadow of the Nether God's brow. It kept spinning and releasing power. The shadow of the Nether God stretched out his hand. A bubble appeared in his hand, and in the bubble was Su Yuhan. Yuhan. Yi Chen's spirit body went berserk. The light of the Heavenly Emperor behind him was extremely hot, like the sun had descended. Boom, boom, boom. The surrounding space burned in the air and exploded endlessly. Wu Shuang and the Patriarch who were guarding outside were shocked. What's going on? The Patriarch looked ahead. The entire ancestral peak had collapsed. Yi Chen and the Devil's heart were exposed. What's that? I don't know. Master seems to be controlled by some sort of power. Wu Shuang was the spirit of the Heavenly Emperor sword, while the Heavenly Emperor sword was Yi Chen's life immortal weapon. They were spiritually connected. Yi Chen's mind was controlled, and Yi Wuxuang was affected as well. As Yi Chen's spiritual energy went berserk, Yi Wuxuang felt his head explode. He was in excruciating pain. Wuxuang. The Grand Elder quickly released his psionic power, hoping to help Wuxuang calm down. At that moment, the Nether God's shadow was vast and boundless. The bubble in its hand surrounded Su Yuhan. At the same time, Su Yuhan had already revealed her Nether Lord form with the infusion of demonic power. Yuhan. Looking at Su Yuhan, who was in pain as well, Yi Chen felt like his heart was being stabbed. Ha ha ha, Yi Chen, hand over your spiritual world right now and I'll let her go. You deserve to die. Suddenly, Yi Chen's eyes released boundless dark force and boundless murderous intent. He transformed into the uncontrollable Dark Lord form. What? The demon's heart trembled. His eyes flashed as he saw the changes in Yi Chen's body. Under extreme hatred and murderous intent, the origin of darkness and Yi Chen's Heavenly Emperor body merged completely. The Dark Emperor had descended. Chapter 2003. Upon seeing Yi Chen's transformation, the demon's heart continued to stimulate the Nether God's psyche to increase the might of the Nether God's shadow. Suppress. The demon's heart commanded to suppress Yi Chen. Damn it! Yi Chen's eyes glowed with a dark, crimson light. The Dark Emperor's power had surpassed its limits. Yi Chen's foundation had broken through to the Great Rebirth stage. The power of the darkness pool was beyond everyone's imagination. Now Yi Chen had completely integrated the power of the origin of darkness. Together with his Heavenly Emperor body, he had achieved the Dark Emperor's body. Break. In the face of the demon's heart's powerful attack, Yi Chun abruptly clenched his fist. Suddenly, the void shattered and the energy dissipated. The demon's heart's attack was instantly reduced to nothingness. Impossible! He was the incarnation of the god of the underworld. How could he lose to a brat in front of him? Nether god power. The demon's heart activated its origin energy, wanting to suppress Yi Chen with its advanced energy. Dark Emperor is domineering. Boom. The meridians in Yi Chen's body shook violently like a dragon's roar. The surrounding space resonated at the same time. The domineering finger energy swept across the universe. No one could stop it. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The surrounding space shattered rapidly. Yi Chen flew up and went straight for the shadow of the Nether God. Zzz. The shadow of the Nether God gathered all his energy in his eyes and shot out a ray of death. Countless death rays rained down on Yi Chen like a meteor shower, but they could not stop the Dark Emperor. Boom, boom, boom. The death ray struck Yi Chen's body, but it was useless. All sorts of damage was blocked by the Darkness Pool's scale armor. Could not even break through this layer of defense. Sovereign Tyrant Strike. Boom! Yi Chen clasped his hands together, and a fist gleam shot into the sky. The Sovereign Strike could destroy everything. Boom, boom, boom. The shadow of the Nether deity was completely suppressed, and the demon's heart's vessel was showing signs of collapsing. Not good. The demon's heart emitted countless rays of darkness in an attempt to stop Yi Chen's movements, but it was no longer effective. This was because all of this dark light was absorbed by the origin of darkness and became Yi Chen's own strength. Kill. Yi Chen's eyes were filled with killing intent and rage. He punched out and instantly broke the Nether God's shadow. Boom. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The shadow of the Nether God shattered into countless fragments and dissipated. The demon's heart flew toward the depths of the ancestral peak. Don't even think about escaping. Yi Chen's arm extended infinitely. This was the result of the Darkness Pool's power. Clang. It turned into a sharp claw and grabbed the demon's heart. The demon's heart turned pale with fright, but it was already too late to escape. Roar. Then, behind the dark arch, an incomparably huge mouth appeared. The source of darkness released a black hole suction force, and the demon's heart was completely sucked in. No. With an unwilling cry, the devil's heart was devoured by the source of darkness. After destroying the pool of darkness, Yi Chen turned around and looked at the bubble from before. At that moment, Su Yuhan was affected by the devil's heart. She was transforming into the Lord of the Underworld. Yuhan, Yuhan. Yi Chen returned to his original form and kept calling. However, Su Yuhan did not respond. Her eyes were evolving in the direction of darkness, and the shadow of the Lord of the Underworld appeared behind her. Ha ha ha! The Nether Lord's laughter shook the heavens, displaying a great pressure. It's the Nether Lord. The Snake Empress' eyes shone with excitement. She knew that the Nether Lord had arrived. So. The Snake Queen flew quickly to support the Nether Lord. At that moment, the Spirit Boat and the Magic Boat arrived at the same time. Ha ha, Snake Queen, what do you want? The Lord of True Soul asked with a laugh. Lord of True Soul. The Snake Queen was furious. The Lord of True Soul and the Underworld could not coexist. If the Lord of True Soul was not eliminated, the Underworld would suffer. Rumble! At that moment, the two magic boats arrived, and the threat of the Devil Sovereign was also here. Do you want the Nether Lord to return? The Devil Sovereign smiled coldly. You want to stop the Nether Lord from returning? Of course. If the Nether Lord returns and strengthens the Underworld, how can we destroy the Underworld? Detestable! The Snake Queen's eyes shone with green light, and countless Ongs attacked the Lord of True Soul and the Devil Sovereign. Child's play. The Lord of True Soul said coldly, and his true spirit sword appeared. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Sword energy shot up into the sky, destroying everything in its path. Countless venomous pythons were slashed to pieces by the sword energy. Don't be impudent. The Archemperor arrived to stop the Lord of True Soul and the Devil Sovereign. Archemperor, stop them. I'm going to Ancestor Peak. Yes, Emperor. The Archemperor blocked the way, and the Snake Queen escaped. Prepare to die, fools. The Devil Sovereign growled, unleashing his domineering devil power toward the Archemperor. Ha 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 ha. Bring it on. After all, the Archemperor was one of the best of the 9 High Emperors, and there was no way he was going to just sit around and wait to be captured. As long as he could perform some meritorious service, then when the 3 heavens arrived, the tide of battle would turn. Die. After all, they were in the underworld, which was their home turf. The Devil Sovereign and the Lord of True Soul exchanged a glance, and both knew exactly what the other was thinking. Only by destroying the underworld would they have a chance to resolve their enmity. True Spirit Sword, slash. The Lord of True Soul unleashed his True Spirit Sword, which he sent toward the Archemperor. Archemperor, Heavenly Empyrean. The Archemperor's eyes shone with sinister light, and he was surrounded by primal chaos energy. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The True Spirit Sword unleashed countless streams of sword energy, but the primal chaos energy completely blocked them. This? The Lord of True Soul exclaimed. Never could he have imagined that the Archemperor's defenses would be so strong. Let me. The Devil Sovereign roared, waving his claws and unleashing devil power. Countless streams of corrosive devil power shot toward the Archemperor, and as soon as they made contact with the primal chaos energy, they fused with the Archemperor. How is this possible? The Archemperor's heart trembled as the devil power seeped into him. The other experts from the underworld looked on in terror. Not even the Archemperor was a match for them, and they were nothing more than cannon fodder. Get them. At the moment, the only thing they could do was try to use numbers to tie down the 2 kings. The cowardly expressions on the faces of the experts from the underworld caused the Archemperor to fly into a rage. Damn it! He waved his claws, and in the blink of an eye, dozens of warriors were slain in pools of blood. There are no cowards in the underworld. Yes, sir. Thousands upon thousands of underworld warriors sprang into action to tie down the Lord of True Soul and the Devil Sovereign. Ha 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 ha. You're not the only ones with armies. The Devil Sovereign laughed heartily, then sent out a signal, causing countless Devil Legion warriors to charge down from the Devil airships. Roar, roar, roar. Devil power roared, and infernal power erupted as the 2 sides began to fight fiercely. The Lord of True Soul and the Devil Sovereign looked in the direction of Ancestor Peak, which was the most important location. Let's go. The 2 of them flew into the air toward Ancestor Peak. As for the Archemperor, he was being corroded by the devil power, and couldn't move at all. Back on Ancestor Peak, Yi Chen continued to unleash his own spirit power in the hopes of saving Su Yuhan. Unfortunately for him, her transformation was intensifying. Chapter 2004. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Dark lightning surrounded Su Yuhan. It was released automatically from her body, and it was extremely violent. Yi Chen ignored his own safety and walked forward forcefully, hoping to get closer to Su Yuhan. Don't come over. Su Yuhan shouted. I'm here to help you, Yuhan. You can't help me. Of course, Su Yuhan was excited to see Yi Chen. However, she did not want Yi Chen to be in danger because of her. The power of the Underworld Lord in his body was already erupting. During this period of time, he had been to too many places that the Underworld Lord had been to before, and was stained with the aura of the Underworld Lord. This aura was the reason for the current eruption. Her consciousness was dissipating continuously. Being able to see Yi Chen before her consciousness dissipated was already her greatest wish. Now that it had come true, there was nothing to regret. Yi Chen, I'm very happy to see you. I understand your hard work, but it's impossible. Yuhan, don't give up. I now control the origin of darkness and the demon's heart. I have absolute control over the netherworld energy. Don't give up. I am the reincarnation of the netherworld Lord. It was destined from the start. Why do you insist on it? You're only saying these things because your consciousness is being controlled. You don't have to say anything else. I won't give up. Yi Chen was certain that he would never be at ease for the rest of his life if he did not save Su Yuhan. This was his last chance. Ha ha ha, Yi Chen, you're really an idiot. The Netherlord's consciousness has been completely infected. I, the Netherlord, will descend soon. At that moment, Su Yuhan began to speak in her Netherlord form. Lord of the Netherworld, I will make you die without a burial. Intense killing intent shot out of Yi Chen's eyes while his entire body emitted a dark glow. At this moment, thunder and lightning flashed in the sky, and boundless dark clouds suppressed everything. Boom! Then, a person descended from the sky, shocking everyone present. Ha! Invading the netherworld, annihilated. This person was wearing a pitch-black robe and a two-horned demonic crown on his head. He had sharp teeth and was extraordinarily terrifying. It's Lord Indra. Seeing this person descend, countless people from the netherworld cheered. It seemed that with Indra's arrival, they had nothing to fear. At this time, a provocative voice rang out. The demon realm's ruler suddenly appeared. At the same time, Sword Chi soared into the sky. The True Spirit Lord also descended. The Lord of True Spirit, the ruler of the Devil World, invading the Netherworld at this time is unwise. Indra, one of the three heavens of the Netherworld. We finally meet, the Sovereign Lord of the Devil Realm said. Why don't you let the other two heavens show up at the same time and let us see the might of the demon realm? Lord True Spirit said. Yi Chen released countless amounts of underworld energy. He first had to establish some kind of connection with Su Yuhan. Only then would he not hurt her too much when breaking the Lord of True Spirit's curse. Dark Emperor. After establishing the connection, Yi Chen once again unleashed the might of Dark Emperor. After absorbing the darkness pool and the demon's heart, Yi Chen's control of underworld energy had reached an extremely high level, even surpassing many underworld bosses. D***eminent. Seeing Yi Chen's Dark Emperor form again, the Lord of True Spirit knew that he had lost control and was instantly enraged. Damoro, Azura, what are you waiting for? At this moment, the Lord of True Spirit called out. Suddenly, the sky was filled with dark energy and endless terror. Ah! At this time, the sound of maniacal laughter rang out. Two majestic shadows appeared in the sky. One of them had skeletal wings spread open. His entire body was like a thin skeleton made of flesh and blood. It could be said that his bones grew out of his flesh. This person was the Azura evolved from the nether beast. The other person's body was round. Countless tentacles were like poisonous pythons, constantly spitting out their tongues. His entire body exploded with endless underworld energy. It was the most violent Damoro. Indra, Azura, Damoro, and the three heavens of the underworld had all arrived. Indra fought the Lord of True Spirit, the Devil Realm ruler, and Azura. Damoro directly fought the Dark Emperor, Yi Chen, and helped the Lord of True Spirit resurrect. Boom, boom, boom. Damoro waved his tentacles. The space around Yi Chen rapidly collapsed and fell into chaos. Facing Azura and Damoro, the two innate underworld masters, Yi Chen's brows were stern. His anger rose. The might of the Dark Emperor was not concealed at all. You deserve to die. Yi Chen's eyes were like a dark abyss, containing all darkness, death, and hell. Azura and Damoro did not dare to be careless. They unleashed their might at the same time. Earth no longer exists. Azura stretched out his skeletal hand and lightly grabbed. Suddenly, the ground under Yi Chen's feet cracked open into a bottomless abyss. It was like the opening of hell. Chapter 2005. The earth-shattering power shocked everyone present. Yi Chen felt that the cracks in the ground were not only the collapse of the ground but also a powerful suction force that pulled his body down involuntarily. This was the most dangerous part of this ability. Rumble! As the boulders continued to fall, Yi Chen's figure gradually fell into darkness. Ha ha ha! Azura laughed as if he had already taken care of Yi Chen. At this moment, a bird's cry soared into the sky from the ground. Whoosh whoosh whoosh! A gust of wind blew and a person flew up. Under Yi Chen's feet, the golden-winged condor spread its wings and soared into the sky. What? While Azura was still in shock, the golden-winged condor had already flown up with Yi Chen. Xiao Jin, thank you so much. Yi Chen's divine consciousness moved and Xiao Jin entered the ancient god space. Ninth Heaven Lightning Strike. The first attack of the Ascension Abyss triggered the heavenly tribulation lightning and shook the void as it went straight for Azura. Ha ha ha! Azura laughed maniacally and waved his claws. Dried bones piled up into a mountain before Yi Chen. Rumble! Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle! The power of lightning quickly penetrated the dried bone mountain. Following that, the bone mountain instantly exploded and countless dried bones scattered on the ground. Such a shocking battle scene caused countless demons and people from the spiritual realm to reveal expressions of fear. The current situation had exceeded their expectations. Even Lord True Spirit and the Devil Realm ruler could not compare to Yi Chen and the Underworld super combatant. The Underworld Three Heavens were all super combatants. This situation was out of control. Lord True Spirit and the Devil Realm ruler looked at each other, and both locked onto Indra. They wanted to work together to kill Indra first and then find an opportunity. Ah! But hearing Indra's loud laughter, he naturally knew what the two of them were thinking. Kill! Lord True Spirit's powerful killing move attracted Indra's attention. At the same time, the Devil Realm ruler released a huge amount of demonic energy to help Lord True Spirit retrieve the True Spirit sword. To fight against Indra, this was a necessary choice. A bunch of trash like you dares to try and deal with me? Indra responded to the two's attack. Indra Vajra Palm Imprint. All of a sudden, the image of the Buddha Realm's Vajra protector appeared behind Indra. A palm smashed down. It was as if Mount Tai was crushing down with supreme might, unshakable. Boom! The giant hand blotted out the sky and instantly enveloped Lord True Spirit and the demon world sovereign. The two of them were shocked at the same time. The True Spirit Lord knew that he was in danger. If he didn't act quickly, his life would be in danger. True Spirit Wondrous Art, Dense Thunder Clouds. Using the technique imparted by spiritual master Lei Yun, the Lord of True Spirit's body was covered in lightning, making him look like a thunder god. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Under the cover of the lightning clouds, the Lord of True Spirit went straight for the True Spirit sword. Demon Sea Waves. At the same time, the Devil World Sovereign coordinated with the Lord of True Spirit. A sea of devil essence appeared behind him, and boundless waves surged out like the breath of a venomous python or the breath of a fiery dragon. Boom! The Vajra Palm imprint and the demonic wave collided, neutralizing each other. Instantly, a powerful shock wave spread out, destroying everything in its path. Countless demons and people from the spiritual world were caught in the shockwave. This shockwave was filled with spiritual energy, devil energy, and dark energy. Such a complex shockwave was something that even a perfected body integration realm expert couldn't resist. Those who bore the brunt of the shockwave exploded on the spot. Blood flowed on the demonic boats and spirit boats, plunging everyone into terror. Whoosh! The Lord of True Spirit used an instant to retrieve the True Spirit sword. Array Order Wondrous Art, Lightning Sword Judgment. The moment he got the True Spirit sword, the Lord of True Spirit infused his energy into the sword and slashed. Behind the Lord of True Spirit, a majestic shadow of perfected Master Lei Yun appeared. At this moment, it was as if the perfected Master had descended to the world to judge everyone. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The sword chi was accompanied by powerful lightning as it attacked Indra. Facing such a powerful attack, Indra didn't dare to be careless. His body was covered in the Vajra protection light, and his eyes were filled with fury. Indra's spiral palm imprint. Suddenly, another 2 arms appeared behind Indra. Above the palms, 2 giant spiral handprints appeared at the same time. Boom! Heaven and earth shook and the sun and moon dimmed. Indra activated the chaotic sky image and merged it with the Vajra palm imprint, clashing with the power of the true spirit sword. This attack was even more powerful than before. With such power, the people of the spiritual world and the demon world felt threatened at the same time. Spirit boat defense. Demonic boat defense. Both sides activated the ship's defense function at the same time. The overlords on the ships released their power and focused it on the core of the ship. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As the power gathered, the spirit boat and demonic boat released energy shields at the same time to resist the attack. Boom! At this moment, the true spirit sword slashed at the spiral palm imprint. The power exploded, shocking the Lord of True Spirit and Indra. But the Lord of True Spirit was using the Thunder Cloud secret art, which consumed a lot of energy. His foundation was severely affected. Ha ha! Lord of True Spirit, can you withstand such an amazing technique? You talk too much. The Lord of True Spirit was enraged by the mockery. The True Spirit sword shot out a few beams of sword chi and attacked Indra. Clang, clang, clang. However, the Vajra behind him casually waved its arm, and the sword chi was instantly restricted and dissipated. Seeing this scene, the Devil World ruler began to think of a way to escape. With the Lord of the True Spirit injured, it was impossible for him to fight against Indra alone. If not for the powerhouses from the upper realm, this expedition would have failed. The Devil World ruler flew back to the demonic boat and used his power to protect it. Once the worst happened, the demonic boat was his only way out. Lord of True Spirit. Seeing the Devil World ruler return to the demonic boat, everyone on the spirit boat exchanged positions with the Lord of True Spirit. Although the Lord of True Spirit wanted to kill Indra to avenge himself, this was not the right time. Whoosh! He flew back to the spirit boat. Ha ha ha! Seeing the Devil World ruler and the Lord of True Spirit flying back to their aircraft, Indra laughed maniacally. Finally, he had the upper hand. At this moment, Yi Chen was facing Azura and Domo alone. The battle had reached its climax. Azura no more. Azura flew up, his skeletal wings covering the sky. It was the end of the world. The darkest blood flowed in his body. His eyes emitted a dark light and his claws stirred the dark energy, trying to devour Yi Chen again. Ha! Yi Chen shouted coldly. Although Azura was powerful, he had forgotten that Yi Chen already had the Dark Emperor's body. How could darkness be effective against him? Dark Emperor's overbearing, chaotic extremity. Rumble. Behind Yi Chen, a boundless dark vortex appeared. It was the Dark Emperor's black hole. Chapter 2006. Yi Chen used the Dark Emperor's power to create a black hole. Azura's power was rapidly absorbed by the black hole, rendering it useless. This. Azura turned pale with fright. The person in front of him had already surpassed his imagination. D***eminent. Domo bellowed in rage when he saw this. Countless arms stretched out toward Yi Chen. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. These tentacles constantly spewed out black mist, trying to disrupt Yi Chen's vision. However, Yi Chen did not move at all. He stood alone in the void like an emperor. No one could hide his majesty. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Behind the Dark Emperor, the black hole vortex grew stronger. The origin of darkness, the demon's heart, each had absolute power. At this moment, all of them had merged with the Dark Emperor's body. Yi Chen had become the true ruler of the underworld. Ah! With a cold shout, The endless underworld energy in the surroundings automatically gathered toward the black hole Yi Chen had released. What? Seeing Yi Chen absorbing the surrounding underworld energy at a speed that surpassed the underworld's 3 heavens, countless people of the underworld fell into confusion. Who was the innate underworld expert? Back off. With a back off, the endless power he had absorbed earlier instantly rebounded. Rumble! The black hole spewed out endless destructive power, sweeping through the wilderness and shaking the world. Ah! Domo had wanted to use his hands to restrain Yi Chen, but he was too naive. All his hands were destroyed by the power of the backlash, dissipating into dust. Boom, boom, boom. The power continued to advance. Azura and Domo were in danger at the same time. D*Eminent. The two joined forces and released the underworld energy to protect themselves from being destroyed. Under this destructive power, hundreds of thousands of underworld warriors vanished into thin air, not leaving a single trace behind. This kind of power shocked everyone at the scene. Indra, Azura, Domo, and the 3 heavens flew into the void and faced the unshakable enemy together. This person is too abnormal. With such power, I'm afraid only the Lord can fight him. Execute the Lord's return plan immediately. But this goes against the Snake Queen. We don't have time to care about this now. Use Su Yuhan's body to bring the Lord back. All right. After 3 days of discussion, the 3 of them released the formation at the same time. ZZZ. The 3 innate lords of the underworld formed 3 dark light balls and locked onto Su Yuhan. Subsequently, the power of darkness enveloped Su Yuhan, and the surrounding space fell into the Netherlord's connate Great Demon formation. Yuhan. Yi Chen was enraged. Such behavior was a violation of the agreement he had made with the Snake Queen. Upon seeing this scene, the Snake Empress frowned slightly. However, the situation in front of her was no longer something she could control. This was because the underworld's 3 heavens status was far above hers. Snake Queen, aren't you going to stall Yi Chen? Indra bellowed. Yes. The Snake Queen obeyed and came before Yi Chen. Yi Chen, I'm sorry. Faced with the current situation, the Snake Empress still felt that she had violated the previous alliance agreement. Nonsense. Yi Chen's heart was burning with rage. How could he be in the mood to listen to her apology? His murderous aura filled the sky. Kill! With a wave of his hand, the power of the Dark Lord burst forth and rushed toward the snake. Ah! This was the first time the Snake Empress had experienced this supreme might at such a close distance. Her heart trembled and her mind was shaken. Sky-devouring venomous python. As the Snake Queen waved her sleeves, the sky serpent venomous python appeared behind her and spat wildly. Whoosh whoosh whoosh! Countless poisonous mist attacked Yi Chen, but the ancient god body was immune to poison and the Dark Lord's body was even more unshakable. Even if the poisonous mist could corrode everything, it could not stop Yi Chen. Dong dong dong! With every step Yi Chen took, the earth shook and the void trembled. He transformed into a 100-meter-tall giant, a god and a demon. Rumble! The Dark Lord's power instantly broke through the sky serpent venomous python's various breaths. Ah! The Snake Queen's internal energy stagnated, and blood splattered. You're so powerful! The Snake Queen said while holding her chest. Get out of my way if you don't want to die. Yi Chen said angrily. If I wasn't the Underworld Snake Queen, I'd willingly follow you, but fate makes fools of me. Then die. Yi Chen was infuriated. Nobody could stop him. At this moment, the Underworld's 3 heavens were releasing high-level Dark Lord's consciousness. Su Yuhan screamed in pain. Yi Chen felt as if a knife was being twisted in his heart. The Dark Lord's roar pierced through the sky and earth. Boom, boom, boom. The Snake Queen's body exploded and blood flowed. Looking at the demon-like figure before her, the Snake Queen's heart was filled with mixed feelings, but she could not retreat. Blood sacrifice of the heavenly snake. The Snake Queen's blood flew, and she transformed into a 1,000-meter-tall heavenly snake, coiling around Yi Chen and the Dark Lord's body. D**eminent. Yi Chen roared, and the void dark energy appeared behind him. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The powerful suction made the Snake Queen lose control of her body. Even though she was 1,000 meters tall, it had no effect at all. In the end, she could only force herself to move toward the black hole. Yi Chen, I'm sorry. The Snake Queen apologized again before her life ended. Yi Chen's eyes were cold, but his heart was pounding. Dong, dong, dong. The Dark Lord's body moved forward valiantly, and it was not far from the three heavens. Seeing that it was about to affect the three heavens, the underworld sovereigns arrived. Yi Chen die. The leader was the Calamity Emperor of the 9 sovereigns. Great Sun Disaster. The Calamity Emperor released the supreme dark fire and triggered the Great Sun Disaster. In an instant, the entire space before Yi Chen was engulfed in dark sunfire. Whoosh whoosh whoosh! The flames burned and heaven and earth shook, wrapping around Yi Chen, trying to refine him completely. Scram! Yi Chen's eyes emitted a cold demonic light. At this moment, the Dark Lord's body became powerful again, and the black hole triggered the absolute territory. The surrounding temperature dropped instantly and the space froze. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Soon, the Great Sun Disaster dissipated. Huh! The Great Sun Disaster that could refine someone at full fusion was like child's play to Yi Chen. This is too scary. The Calamity Emperor had been fierce before, but now that he had personally experienced Yi Chen's terror, he trembled and automatically retreated. Even the 9 sovereigns are no match for Yi Chen. This brat is so powerful. The Demon World Ruler and Lord True Spirit were both shocked, and their faces were solemn. Today's situation showed that they could no longer pose any threat to Yi Chen. The demonic boat and spirit boat retreated at the same time, not wanting to be affected by Yi Chen's Dark Lord's power. All sovereigns, stop Yi Chen at all costs. Indra issued the absolute command again. Although many sovereigns were frightened, the underworld command could not be disobeyed. They had no choice. Kill. In an instant, the 6 sovereigns faced Yi Chen at the same time. The 6 sovereigns released their great divinity, trying to use the foundation of the 6 sovereigns to suppress Yi Chen and buy time. Die. Chapter 2007. Facing the power of the 6 emperors of the underworld, the Dark Lord Yi Chen kept forming all kinds of complicated hand seals. Then, he raised his 6 arms to the sky. Boom, boom, boom. Countless palm prints were bombarded into the sky. Dark energy shrouded the world. Darkness pool activate. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. The palm prints produced black lightning and connected with each other. The darkness formation was activated. The 6 underworld seals caused the world to tremble. The 6 emperors of the underworld were trapped in the formation. Block him for me. Indra ordered loudly. Yes. The 6 emperors were determined and targeted Yi Chen. 6 emperors of the underworld seals. Facing the Dark Lord, the 6 did not hesitate and worked together. Their strong foundation was concentrated on the Disaster King. Ah! The Disaster King received the power of the 6. His underworld energy soared and his laughter shook the world. Yi Chen die. Activating the 6 emperors of the underworld seals, the Disaster King summoned the Great Sun Disaster again. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. This time, 6 black suns appeared in the sky and surrounded Yi Chen. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. Each sun shot out a death ray, trying to crush Yi Chen. But the Dark Tharch roared angrily and actually walked towards death. Dong, dong, dong. With every step, the world shook and the sun and moon lost their light. At the same time, the power of the darkness pool's 6 palm prints supported the Dark Lord. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. The death ray descended and went straight for Yi Chen. Ha ha ha, Yi Chen, how dare you ignore our ultimate attack? Of course you'll die. This kid is crazy. He faced the death ray directly. He's a fool. We completed our mission perfectly. This time, the Lord of the Underworld has returned. We've done a great service. The 6 emperors laughed at the same time. They did not expect Yi Chen to be so arrogant. Before their laughter could fade away, their faces stiffened and froze. This. As they watched in shock, the Dark Tharch strode forward. The death ray struck the Dark Thearcha's body, but it disappeared without a trace. What happened? The 6 emperors asked in shock. Your 6 emperors of the underworld are a joke before the darkness pool. Yi Chen's body exploded with the power of the darkness pool and devoured the death ray. I'll return it to you. Following that, Dark Thearcha's reverse scales glowed, and all the death rays returned. The 6 underworld emperors almost fainted. This was the cataclysm death ray. Even the 6 of them might not be able to withstand it, not to mention that they had already lost the opportunity to work together. The 6 underworld emperors had no choice but to resist the backlash of the death rays. The first to bear the brunt was naturally the Disaster Emperor. The death ray hit him, and his protective energy shield shattered in the air. He fell into despair. No. With an unwilling cry, the Disaster Emperor's entire body was scorched black. Then, his body directly disintegrated, turning into dust. The other 5 emperors were stunned. At this moment, the rays shot out at the same time. Dodge. Fortunately, the Disaster Emperor bought some space for them to dodge, and they all used their movement techniques to dodge. However, not everyone was so lucky. In the end, there were still 3 monarchs who were affected and heavily injured. You lowly ants, die. The Dark Thearcha's deadly voice rang out, and the 5 sovereigns were all stunned. What should we do? Indra's orders cannot be defied. But we can't fight the Dark Emperor at all. This person has reached the heavens. Orders cannot be defied. Go. At the moment of life and death, there were still monarchs who carried out Indra's orders and flew toward Yi Chen. Die. The Dark Emperor's judgment caused the 6 palm prints in the air to emit death rays at the same time. The dark energy swept out and crushed that underworld emperor in the air. The underworld emperor died, his body falling heavily to the ground. The remaining 4 monarchs did not dare to move anymore. The person before them was not on the same level as them. Stop him! Indra ordered again, unable to restrain his anger. The 4 monarchs trembled. They were already hesitating, not daring to move. Get lost. Yi Chen waved his hand and the 4 monarchs were sent flying at the same time. Dong, dong, dong. The Dark Emperor walked toward the 3 heavens formation. Damn it. Indra attacked angrily. Waves of underworld energy attacked Yi Chen from behind. Break. Yi Chen waved his hand and the underworld energy broke through instantly. Yuhan. With a shout, Yi Chen threw the Heavenly Emperor's sword and the true immortal flying dagger at the 3 heavens. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The immortal slaying flying dagger spun rapidly to take his life. The Heavenly Emperor's sword shot into the sky and broke through the formation. Heavenly Emperor order, Earth sword reverse slash. The Heavenly Emperor's sword was driven by Yi Chen's divine consciousness and slashed. Rumble. The world shook and the universe shattered. The sword gleam pointed at the 3 heavens formation. At the critical moment, Indra attacked again. Indra, glaring Vajra palm. Rumble. The palm print shook the Heavenly Emperor's sword head-on. The sword gleam shattered and the palm print dissipated. However, this was the critical moment for the Lord of the Underworld's return. Indra's attack against Yi Chen would definitely cause the 3 heavens formation to run out of energy. Su Yuhan screamed. Seeing Yi Chen in front of her, her consciousness naturally refused to dissipate. She forcefully fought against the 3 heavens formation. As a result, cracks appeared in the three heavens formation from the inside and outside. Indra, Asura, and Domo were shocked at the same time. If the Lord of the Underworld failed to return, they would definitely be at a great disadvantage. Roar! At this moment there was a sudden violent roar. Above the void, a giant python emerged from the dark clouds. What? Impossible! Indra was shocked. He knew who this giant python was at a glance. Snake Queen, how dare you betray us? D*eminent. Domo and Asura shouted at the same time. I'm loyal to the underworld. You guys didn't care about my life and even made me break my promise. The Dark Emperor spared my life. I'll repay this kindness today. It turned out that after being swallowed by the darkness pool, the Snake Queen thought that she would die. However, she shed a tear before being swallowed, letting Yi Chen know her feelings. Hence, he spared her life. This was the time for her to repay the kindness. Roar! The heavenly snake roared, sweeping the wind and clouds. Instantly, countless venomous pythons charged toward the three heavens formation. The three heavens emperor of the underworld was enraged and wanted to kill the Snake Queen. Your opponent is me. At this moment, the darkness pool appeared behind the Dark Emperor Yi Chen. Everything around him entered the dark barrier. Since you want to die, we'll fulfill your wish. Let's kill this brat together and let the Lord of the Underworld return. Alright. The three heavens emperor of the underworld decided to ignore the formation and focus on Yi Chen at the same time. Fellow Yi, facing three innate emperor of the underworld emperor at the same time, all of them were itinerant immortals. Such a battle would be extremely unbalanced in the eyes of ordinary people. Don't come over! Yi Chen shouted coldly. The Patriarch and Wushuang retreated. Indra Vajrapam. Asura blood refining three realms. Domo 8 arms annihilation. The three innate emperor of the underworld used their ultimate abilities at the same time and targeted Yi Chen. Chapter 2008. Three heavens together, Yi Chen will die. This kid's arrogance is ridiculous. The underworld king's three heavens are all itinerant immortals. Even if they spend some energy on the three heavens formation, it's not something a mere conjoint body can fight against. The remaining four kings of the underworld kept bragging about the three heavens, thinking that Yi Chen would die. Roar, roar, roar. At the same time, the underworld army roared, cheering for the underworld king's three heavens, waiting for Yi Chen's death. The three heavens unleashed such power, even itinerant immortals would be killed instantly. However, Yi Chen's eyes widened and the reverse scales on his body flashed with a dark light. The darkness pool behind him roared. Dark Lord, Darkness Pinnacle! Yi Chen's eyes turned into a bottomless abyss. 6 dark arms lifted the huge black hole and shot into the sky. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. Dark lightning kept flashing around the black hole. Everything around it was destroyed. The three innate stage powers attacked the dark light ball, and both sides were in a stalemate. Boom, boom, boom. The surrounding space kept shattering. Only the Dark Lord stood between heaven and earth, holding up the darkness pinnacle with 6 arms, fighting against the underworld king's 3 heavens. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. Yi Chen's body flashed with destructive lightning. His reverse scales kept falling and blood seeped out. Fighting against 3 itinerant immortals with a conjoint body was unprecedented. The darkness pool was created by heaven and earth, the essence of the underworld. Using the foundation of a conjoint body was suicide in the eyes of ordinary people. Even Yi Chen was under great pressure. All the bones in his body were almost shattered. With a roar, Yi Chen activated the ancient god force. The ancient god force flowed through his meridians. His bones and tendons that could not withstand it before were now indestructible. Clang, clang, clang. The Dark Lord stood up again. With the help of the ancient god, he could break all spells. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. The dark lightning flashed even brighter. At this moment, the three innate stage powers were being forcefully absorbed by the darkness pinnacle. What? The three innate stage powers watched as their powers were slowly devoured by the dark light ball. We are three itinerant immortals. You're just a conjoint body. We don't believe this. This is an illusion. It must be an illusion. Who do you think you are? How dare you treat us like this? The Emperor of the Underworld, three heavens, the three most powerful people below the Lord of the Underworld, were roaring at Yi Chen. They were filled with indignation. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As the power of darkness devoured everything, the might of the three heavens completely dissipated. Ants like you dare to block my path? This is a lesson. I am the king of the underworld. Why aren't you all kneeling down? What? The power of the Emperor of the Underworld's divine ability had been absorbed by the darkness pole. At this moment, Yi Chen called himself the king of the underworld and made them kneel. What did this mean? The three of them were enraged at the same time. They were all itinerant immortals, so how could they bow down to a body integration stage human? However, at that moment, a blood-red vertical eye appeared between Yi Chen's brows. It was like the deepest abyss in hell that could devour any spirit. This is the eye of the demon. The bodies of Indra and the other two trembled incessantly, as if they had seen the supreme ruler. Their legs went soft, and they could barely stand. I am the Dark Emperor, the Lord of the Underworld. Why aren't you all kneeling down? Yi Chen's voice shook the heavens and the earth. The three heavens finally could not resist the supreme might of the eye of the demon and knelt on the spot. O Lord of the Underworld, we bow down. The Emperor of the Underworld, three heavens knelt before Yi Chen and willingly bowed down. This scene was earth-shattering and unprecedented. What is this? The true Spirit Lord and the demon world ruler's eyes almost popped out. They could not believe that Yi Chen could do this. Defy the Lord of the Underworld and look down on the eye of the demon. What are your crimes? Huh? This. The three heavens crawled toward Yi Chen like ants, kowtowing and admitting their mistakes. We failed to recognize you. Please forgive us, Lord of the Underworld. We're willing to be the Lord of the Underworld. The entire Underworld will submit to the Lord of the Underworld. The Lord of the Underworld shall be the Lord of the Underworld. The three heavens did not dare to look up. At this moment, Sky Snake had broken the barrier and rescued Suyuhan. However, the energy in Suyuhan's body was extremely unstable. The Lord of the Underworld's consciousness was still eroding her mind. Remove the influence of the three heavens formation immediately. Yes. The three heavens quickly got up and worked together to remove the power of the three heavens formation on Suyuhan. Although the influence of the formation was removed, the Lord of the Underworld's shadow had already appeared on Suyuhan. Yi Chen, you want to rely on the demon's eye to seize the authority of the underworld, but it's useless. I'm going to devour Suyuhan soon and make you regret it for the rest of your life. The Lord of the Underworld's consciousness kept roaring in rage. Emperor of the Underworld, three heavens, how dare you betray me? You deserve to die. Lord of the Underworld, the demon's eye is the highest authority of the underworld. Even you can't defy it. Yes, Lord of the Underworld, we kneel before the demon's eye. It's the truth. You'd better give up on taking Suyuhan's body. Otherwise, you'll be humiliated by the Lord of the Underworld's wrath. The three heavens only submitted to the Lord of the Underworld and rebuked the Lord of the Underworld. Everyone worshipped the Lord of the Underworld. Yes. In the Underworld army, countless underworld warriors and experts knelt down, worshipping the Dark Lord Nether King. Get up. Yes. Everyone stood up and stood behind the Netherworld King. The Netherworld had changed masters. All of you deserve to die. She flew into the sky, and a gigantic shadow of the Lord of the Underworld appeared behind her. She waved her slender fingers, and gusts of underworld whirlwinds charged at her. Such might intimidated everyone in the surroundings, and everyone from the netherworld retreated one after another. Don't even think about controlling Yuhan. Yi Chen was furious. The demon's eye between his brows glowed again. Suddenly, the apparition of the god of the underworld appeared and the power of the underworld realm erupted. Even the Netherlord was unable to resist the power of the Nether deity, and he instantly lost control. However, Su Yuhan was also in great pain. Her eyes were bleeding. Yuhan. Ha ha ha, Yi Chen, I'll kill Su Yuhan and make you regret it for the rest of your life. How dare you? Yi Chen was enraged. The origin of darkness behind him exuded boundless destructive power. It's useless no matter how strong you are. I want to kill her, ha ha ha. Defying the Dark Lord Nether King, you'll die a horrible death. The demon's eye between Yi Chen's brows emitted the light of the god of the underworld, and it enveloped Su Yuhan's body. What are you doing? Suddenly, the Lord of the Underworld screamed as if he was terrified. Die! Yi Chen roared in anger. The light of the god of the underworld forcefully locked onto the Lord's primordial spirit. At the same time, the origin of darkness behind him released a boundless suction force, and the Lord's primordial spirit was forcefully pulled out from Su Yuhan's body. No. The Lord of the underworld let out a painful roar, but it was useless. He could not resist the power of the origin of darkness and the demon's eye. Die. The Judgment of the Underworld, the Dark Lord Killer. Chapter 2009. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As a bolt of psychic lightning bloomed in the void, the Lord's primordial spirit fell into a desperate situation. No matter how the Lord struggled, he could not escape the judgment of the demon eye. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Psychic energy was destroyed and the void dissipated. Seeing this, the remaining emperors of the underworld, three heavens, bowed their heads. Yuhan. The Lord's psyche was destroyed, and Su Yuhan fell from the sky. Whoosh! Yi Chen flew over and held her delicate body with both hands, landing steadily with her. Yuhan. He called Su Yuhan's name gently, but Su Yuhan had fallen into a coma due to the psychic impact earlier. Wushuang, take care of her. Yes. Yi Wushuang brought Su Yuhan back. Yi Chen stood in the void and faced the true Spirit Lord, the Devil World ruler. Why aren't you getting out of the underworld? Ha ha ha, Yi Chen, I didn't expect you to make the underworld three heavens submit to you, but you have no right to order me around. The true Spirit Lord said with a cold smile. Yi Chen, hand over the three realms core. Otherwise, you'll die even if the underworld is destroyed. The Devil World ruler's mission this time was the three realms core. As long as he obtained it, he would receive support from the upper realm. The opportunity for the Devil World to rise was right before his eyes. How could he let it go? You pieces of trash, how dare you boast so shamelessly? Yi Chen was furious. He did not expect the Lord's destruction to not make these two greedy wolves realize the danger. Kill. With a furious roar, the origin of darkness released its power again in the void. It shot out two dark pillars of light toward the true Spirit Lord and the Devil World ruler. D***eminent. The two itinerant immortals were also furious. They released their divine weapons at the same time to resist the two pillars of light. Rumble. Under the suppression of the pillars of light, the true Spirit Lord was the first to be pushed back hundreds of meters. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Countless rocks flew from the ground. The true Spirit Lord almost fell to the ground. Such power had exceeded his imagination. The Devil World ruler was not much better. He was directly suppressed by the dark pillars of light from above. His feet sank 3 feet into the ground, but he still could not resist. The two of them looked at each other. The grudges from before had disappeared. Their common enemy was Yi Chen, and their common goal was the core of the three realms. Great Devil World Seal, kill! Thunderstorm Cloud Palm. Both of them released the power they had obtained from the upper realm at the same time, hoping to kill Yi Chen with a single blow. However, they were too naive. Even the Nether Lord had failed, so it was impossible for them to succeed. Demon eyes open. Yi Chen was getting impatient. He opened the demon's eye and the Nether God's shadow appeared again. The might of the god of the underworld shook the void. He reigned supreme in the universe. The eye between his brows released destructive lightning that instantly swept across the entire area. Ah! Countless screams rang out. On the demonic boats and spirit boats there were countless casualties. At the same time, the destructive lightning was more than 10 times stronger than the pillar of darkness from before. The Lord of the True Spirit, the ruler of the demon realm, was unable to withstand it and immediately coughed up blood. Pooh! Their bodies were bent and their legs were trembling. Their meridians were flowing in the opposite direction and their cultivation was almost crippled. No, that's impossible. Both of them still could not believe the reality before their eyes. They thought that by relying on their combined strength and the upper realm's mystical abilities, they could defeat Yi Chen. However, Yi Chen had already controlled the darkness pool and the demon's eye. He had achieved the body of the Dark Lord. How could they defeat him? All hail the Nether Lord! All hail the Nether Lord! Seeing this, countless underworld warriors roared. Yi Chen's might had shaken the entire place. The Lord of the True Spirit and the demon realm ruler looked at the void. They were waiting for reinforcements from the upper realm. However, the void was empty. There was no sign of reinforcements at all. As such, the two of them fell into despair. Impossible! Where is the primordial immortal world's support? Where is the support from the demon realm? The two of them roared at the void. Their cries shook the sky, but they did not see any reinforcements from the two realms. Could it be that we've been tricked? The two of them looked at each other with pained expressions. Puny ants dare to challenge the Dark Lord's might. Death is inevitable. At this moment, Yi Chen raised a ball of dark nether energy high up. Instantly, the nether energy turned into a vortex and opened the gates of hell. Gates of hell, devour all things. Yi Chen suddenly tossed out the ball of dark nether energy. The gates of hell hung above the two of them. No. Ah! The two of them were instantly locked in place by the gates of hell. They kept floating up into the void. Ah! On the demonic boat and the spirit boat, the combatants of the two realms trembled. Their hearts were filled with extreme fear. They never thought that a conjoint body cultivator could really kill immortals. Once upon a time, itinerant immortals were the strongest existences in this realm. They looked up to the heavens and everyone else had to look up to them. However, at this moment, the Dark Lord, with his conjoint body cultivation base, had killed 2 itinerant immortals with a single move. How mighty, how invincible! The last scream disappeared into the void. The Lord of the True Spirit and the demon realm ruler had disappeared without a trace. They had been swallowed by the gates of hell. Not even their bones remained. All of you, get out of the underworld. Otherwise, you'll be killed without mercy. Yi Chen shouted at the millions of troops on the spirit boat and demonic boat. Yes, yes, as the Dark Lord commands. Everyone knelt on the ground and worshipped Yi Chen. Then, they quickly drove the demonic boat away from the underworld. The spirit realm and the demon realm army had left. The underworld returned to peace. Congratulations on your ascension, Dark Lord. We, the 3 heavens, represent the underworld to worship the Dark Lord as the Lord of the underworld. After saying that, the 3 heavens bowed again. No need for formalities. Is there any medicine in the underworld to recover Yuhan's spirit? Yi Chen asked. In the place where the Lord of the underworld cultivated a long time ago, there is the Lord of the underworld's treasury. There might be, Indra said. Very well, take me there now. Yes. Indra personally brought Yi Chen to the Lord of the underworld's treasury. At the back of the underworld temple, they walked through a long corridor and entered an underground abyss. There was a mountain gate with the words, Lord of the Underworld's Treasury, written in gold. Lord Dark Lord, this is the place. All right. Yi Chen walked forward. Indra released his underworld energy and activated the formation. Then, the gate slowly opened. Everyone entered to search for the medicine. Eventually, Indra gave Yi Chen a blue illusion pill. Lord Dark Lord, this medicinal pill is used to remove the Lord of the Underworld's psyche control. Give it to me. Yi Chen stretched his arm out and took the medicinal pill. He quickly went to Su Yuhan and got her to consume the medicinal pill. Approximately 2 hours later, Su Yuhan finally opened her eyes. Yuhan. Yi Chen was thrilled to see his wife finally breaking free from the Lord of the Underworld's control and opening her own eyes. Yi Chen. Su Yuhan, a strong woman, finally fell into Yi Chen's embrace with tears in her eyes. Chapter 2010. Su Yuhan had officially returned. Yi Chen used the demon eye to examine Su Yuhan's body again. After a comprehensive examination, he confirmed that the Underworld Lord's influence had completely disappeared. The incident with the Underworld Lord was finally over. Congratulations, Lord Underworld King, for winning back your beautiful wife. The three heavens of the Underworld bowed at the same time and said with a smile. Thank you, everyone. Yi Chen nodded slightly. Su Yuhan was a little stunned to see that. Yi Chen, what's going on? How did they, Yuhan, you lost your memory because of the Underworld Lord's mind control. Here's what happened. Yi Chen told Su Yuhan everything that happened. So that's how it is. My husband is indeed a ruler of the world. Yuhan, since you've returned, I hope you can return to Earth to see your children and family. What about you? Upon hearing this question, Yi Chen's brows furrowed slightly. He knew that although he had wiped out the Underworld Lord, the True Spirit Lord, and the Devil Realm ruler this time, judging from the reactions of the True Spirit Lord and the Devil Realm ruler before they died, it was obvious that they had contacted their respective upper realms and even reached some kind of agreement. However, the upper realms did not appear. However, the potential threat still existed. Even the upper realm of the underworld god, could make a comeback at any time. If these threats were not eliminated, his family would not be able to live in peace. You should go back first. I have a lot of things to deal with here. All right, be careful. No problem. Yi Chen sent Su Yuhan through the 3,000 feet of the underworld. Then, he returned to Earth through the spirit realm. 3,000 feet of the underworld. I didn't expect the 3,000 feet of the underworld to be completely destroyed. Not a single disciple of the underworld sect survived. Seeing the miserable state of the underworld sect, the Patriarch felt sad. Patriarch, don't be sad. It's not difficult to revive the underworld sect. Thank you, fellow Yi. I know that. The 3,000 feet of the underworld is the entrance to the underworld. If other realms want to invade, this is the outpost. I think I should revive the underworld sect and act as a barrier for the underworld. That's a good idea, but if you encounter any accidents, you must inform me immediately. Don't be reckless. Ha ha ha, of course. I'm someone who wants to recruit 72 concubines. How can I die here? The Patriarch's mind is indeed unpredictable. Yi Chen was speechless. Subsequently, he asked Wu Shuang and a few Mahayana stage powerhouses of the underworld to stay behind to help the Patriarch rebuild the underworld sect. Then, he brought the underworld three heavens back to the underworld. He returned to the Netherworld Palace. At this moment, the palace had been changed from the Netherworld Lord Palace to the Netherworld King Palace. Yi Chen ascended the throne while the people below worshipped him. Indra, is there really a core of the three realms? Ever since Yi Chen entered the True Spirit Palace, the True Spirit Lord had been searching for the three realms core, which led to the subsequent events. Now that the matter had been settled, Yi Chen naturally wanted to figure it out. Reporting to the Underworld King, the core of the three realms does exist. It is said that the Underworld Lord hid it in the ancestral peak. Although we are the three heavens of the underworld, we are unable to see it directly. Indra said. This item was jointly created by the Lord of the underworld, the Lord of the true spirit, and the ruler of the devil world. It contains the power of the three realms, and it is said that the most talented person can fuse the divine abilities of the three realms and ascend to the supreme realm. Domo Luo added. There's actually such a thing. Yi Chen thought to himself. If he obtained the core of the three realms, it would not be a problem to fuse the divine abilities of the three realms with the demonic energy, underworld energy, and psionic energy in his body. He might even break through to the Mahayana stage. This was a good deal. All right, follow me to the ancestral peak to search for the core of the three realms. Yes. The three heavens bowed at the same time. Three itinerant immortals were so obedient to a conjoint body cultivator. It was a miracle. Ancestral Peak had already been reduced to rubble after the previous battle. Today, the underworld king had descended and the three heavens accompanied him. Looking at the surrounding ruins, Yi Chen waved his hand and a cloud of dark energy swept across the area. The collapsed mountains and buried valleys all reappeared. Rumble! Countless rocks flew out and surged above the void. A path appeared in the center of the mountain range. It was the path that led to the ancestral peak. Yi Chen and the other three walked up and re-entered the ancestral peak. After passing through the demon eye, Yi Chen continued forward and finally entered the secret cave in the deepest part of the ancestral peak. In this secret cave, countless traces of the underworld king's energy emerged. This was the place where the underworld king cultivated a long time ago. Walking on this piece of land, Yi Chen scanned the surroundings but did not find anything strange. Strange, there's no energy of the core of the three realms here? Impossible, this is the most mysterious place of the underworld king. If he wanted to hide, this must be the place. Then where is it? Indra, Azura, and Domo continued to search, but they didn't find anything. All of you, stand down. Yes. The three of them retreated. Yi Chen stood in front and opened the demon eye. Buzz, buzz, buzz. When the demon opened its eyes, the underworld deity power was infused into its eyes. Suddenly, the surrounding space changed. Under Yi Chen's eyes, there was another world here. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Suddenly, Yi Chen's figure disappeared. Where's the Lord Underworld King? Why did he suddenly disappear? The three heavens were shocked. No matter how they searched, they could not find the Underworld King's location. At this moment, Yi Chen had entered the secret cave's hidden space. In this space, there was chaos all around, isolated from the world's energy. This was the place where the Underworld King kept his treasures. Looking at the various natural treasures in front of him, which were 100 times more precious than the ones in the Underworld King's treasury, Yi Chen was overjoyed. This old man put so many treasures here. If I devour these cultivation items, breaking through to the Mahayana stage will be too easy. Yi Chen grabbed with his hand. In an instant, all kinds of natural treasures were swept together. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Subsequently, above his head, the darkness pool bloomed with power again, and a giant python stretched out from it. Roar! The sky serpent giant python opened its mouth and swallowed countless treasures. This sky serpent giant python was none other than the Snake Queen. The Snake Queen had been swallowed into the darkness pool and became a part of it. Now, she had become Yi Chen's slave. Master, I didn't expect the Underworld King to leave so many treasures behind. Ha! Just in time to nourish your body. Thank you, Master. The sky serpent giant python transformed into the Snake Queen and revealed a charming smile. Go back. Yes. The sky serpent giant python returned to the darkness pool, and Yi Chen continued to search for the three realms' core. The demon's eye opened the real world. At the same time, Yi Chen channeled his psionic energy, demonic energy, and the underworld energy. Instantly, the three realms' core had nowhere to hide. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Following the reflection of light, Yi Chen finally found the place where the treasures were hidden. The stone platform in front of him collapsed and a tricolored light ball appeared before him. So this is its form. Then, it's mine. Yi Chen stretched out his hand and grabbed the Three Realms core. Rumble. Suddenly, the earth shook and space shattered. The Three Realms core erupted with endless power and suppressed Yi Chen. Chapter 2011. Yi Chen could clearly sense that this energy was made up of three attributes. It was dark energy, demonic energy, and psionic energy. It really is the core of the Three Realms. After confirming the location of the treasure, Yi Chen focused and locked onto the core of the Three Realms. Kill! He raised his hand and chopped down with a loud bang. Heaven and earth trembled and boulders shattered. The core of the Three Realms finally appeared. Zzz. The core of the Three Realms was above the void, looking down at the people below like a supreme being. Core of the Three Realms. I've now fused with the powers of the underworld, the demon world, and the spirit world. Why don't you submit? Zzz. The Three Realms core ignored Yi Chen's surrender. At the same time, it released a death ray to attack Yi Chen. The Three Realms core had been forged from the power of the three hegemons, and after absorbing the light of the sun and moon, it had gained sentience. Yi Chen could see a ball of spiritual light brewing inside the core. You want to control my power? Dream on. Ha ha ha, it's useless no matter how much you struggle. Yi Chen locked onto the spiritual light in the Three Realms core. That was where the artifact spirit of the Three Realms core was. Kill. With another chop, a figure flew out. It was Yi Chen's clone. The incarnation transformed into a stream of light and entered the core of the Three Realms. Inside the core was a completely different world. At this moment, the artifact spirit sat cross-legged in the air, controlling the three powers to fight against Yi Chen. Suddenly sensing that someone was invading this alternate dimension, he immediately became cautious. Who is it? Ha, that's me. Yi Chen appeared and locked onto the artifact spirit in front of him. It was a child in his teens. He looked very silly, but Yi Chen could see the murderous intent in his cold eyes. Core of the Three Realms, submitting to this emperor is your only choice. What a joke. I've been cultivating here for hundreds of years. Do I have to listen to your orders? Die. Naturally, the core of the Three Realms would not give in. It activated the alternate dimension energy and attacked Yi Chen forcefully. He really doesn't know what's good for him. Seeing that the Three Realms core did not have the slightest intention of cooperating, Yi Chen was enraged. His eyes emitted lightning as he attacked the core. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The lightning wrapped around the core artifact spirit, trying to force it to submit. With a furious roar, the artifact spirit erupted with three waves of power. It was the power of the Three Realms. Being entangled by the Three Realms' power, Yi Chen stopped in his tracks for a moment. The artifact spirit of the Three Realms core took the opportunity to disappear into the void. Sensing that the artifact spirit had escaped, Yi Chen was extremely displeased. Zzz. In an instant, he opened the immortal demon eye. Instantly, all kinds of energy in the surrounding space entered his eyes. Still want to escape? Yi Chen looked at the position of the core artifact spirit. Subsequently, he gathered chi condensation in his sword finger and launched it. Whoosh! The sword chi rushed towards the location of the core artifact spirit, causing the artifact spirit to be shocked. He can actually see my position? Impossible. Even though he didn't believe it, he had no other choice. Yi Chen, are you trying to kill me? I want to be the master of the Three Realms. This is the time for you to show your worth. You really shouldn't have resisted me. What a joke. In my hundreds and thousands of years of cultivation, I have never heard of the existence of someone like you. Don't even think about bewitching me. What a pity. Since the artifact spirit didn't want to submit, the only way was to kill the artifact spirit and forcefully take away its core, then cultivate a new artifact spirit. The artifact spirit had sharp senses in this environment and immediately realized Yi Chen's killing intent. You want to kill me? What a joke. Let's try then. The two of them refused to give way and attacked one after another. Ninth Heaven Lightning Strike. Yi Chen triggered the divine thunder of heavenly tribulation. It turned into sharp swords and slashed at the three realms' core. The artifact spirit roared, causing the space to change drastically. Rumble. In the surrounding space, countless magical beasts, nether beasts, and spirit beasts appeared and attacked Yi Chen at the same time. Seeing such a spectacular scene, he was even more determined to obtain the three realms' core. Now that Yi Chen had merged the strengths of the three sects, the three realms' core was the best choice to reconcile these three forces. He absolutely could not let him go. Space-time fury. Faced with the attacks of so many berserk beasts, Yi Chen released space-time fury. Roar. With a roar, the entire world became quiet because those berserk beasts were all sucked into a new space by the roar. Seeing that his first divinity had failed, the artifact spirit was somewhat shaken. After all, he already knew about the shocking story of Yi Chen defeating the underworld three heavens. Space-time tear. The three realms core immediately released a super divinity, space-time tear. Clang, clang, clang. The entire space inside the core began to collapse. Yi Chen was also sucked into it, unable to extricate himself. You don't know what's good for you. However, hearing Yi Chen's angry shout, the darkness pool turned into countless scales that protected Yi Chen's body. Don't even think about escaping. Yi Chen walked forward with large strides. Even if he encountered a space-time tear, he relied on the power of the darkness pool to move unimpeded. The core artifact spirit turned pale with fright. He did not expect Yi Chen to be so arrogant in his space. Kill! The artifact spirit launched a fatal attack. In an instant, three sword energies flew in the void, locking onto Yi Chen's vital points, wanting to kill him in one hit. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh! Yi Chen closed his eyes slightly and sensed the location of the sword energies. All this information entered his spirit eye. Clang, clang, clang. With a wave of his sword fingers, the dragon chi roared and suppressed the three sword energies. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The three sword energies stopped in Yi Chen's hand. Then Yi Chen flicked his finger slightly. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The three sword energies rebounded and attacked the core artifact spirit. The artifact spirit was shocked again. Even in his home field, Yi Chen was still so invincible. D***eminent. In a rage, the artifact spirit activated an even more powerful ability. 3 elements in one heavenly wheel. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Above the artifact spirit's head, the heavenly wheel appeared. The 3 elemental force merged into it and kept spinning as if it had endless power. Following that, many runes appeared on the surrounding ground. These runes were forged by the 3 energies. Yi Chen found himself trapped in a trapping formation. It was the 3 elements in one formation. Haha, you want to stop me, Yi Chen, with such a formation? What a joke. Facing the 3 elements formation, Yi Chen sneered and the 8 gates disc appeared in his hand. Hiss, hiss, hiss. As the disc descended, golden light flickered between heaven and earth like stars shining brightly. The disc spun and the information of the formation entered the disc. In the blink of an eye, the result appeared before Yi Chen. The core of the formation is here. Go. After finding the core of the formation, Yi Chen pointed with his sword fingers. Immediately, a powerful sword energy went straight for the vital point. Kacha, kacha, kacha. With the impact of the sword energy, the entire formation collapsed. Where do you think you're going? Chapter 2012. Seeing that the artifact spirit was trying to escape in this space, Yi Chen soared into the sky. 9th Heaven Thunder Hand, destroy. 2 giant hands appeared behind Yi Chen. The hands were entwined with the power of divine lightning. Combined with the destructive power of the darkness pool, they shook violently and shattered the alternate space in front of them. Kacha, kacha, kacha! With the shattering of the alternate space, the artifact spirit finally appeared in the outside world. Yi Chen, how dare you treat me like this? You're asking for death. Stop struggling. Kid, submit to this emperor right now. Die. The artifact spirit was ready for a battle of life and death. He had no intention of surrendering. 3 realms, 3 calamities. The artifact spirit finally released the strongest killing formation of the 3 realms. It was the 3 calamities' heavenly kill. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The artifact spirit spread his arms. Immediately, 3 beams of light bloomed from between his brows, causing the world to shake and boundless darkness. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Rumble. The power of lightning and the sound of thunder filled the sky. It was as if the end of the world had arrived. Even the 3 heavens were greatly shocked by such a shocking scene. Lord Pluto, the 3 calamities' heavenly kill formation is no small matter. Be careful. Seeing such a formation, the 3 heavens of the underworld looked worried. It's just a small trick. How can it hurt me? However, Yi Chen sneered. He was not afraid at all. The 3 heavens admired his boldness. Above the void, the artifact spirit released the 3 calamities' heavenly kill. 3 beams of light condensed above the sky. Waves of heavy pressure made everyone below feel a trace of pain. Their bodies and minds were suppressed at the same time. The power of the 3 realms evolved into the 3 calamities' heavenly kill, suppressing everything. Yi Chen, I'll show you how insignificant you are. The 3 calamities' heavenly kill is formed by the fundamental power of the 3 realms. You can't fight it. Is that so? Facing the artifact spirit's provocation, Yi Chen remained calm and locked onto the 3 beams of light above the sky. As long as it was a formation, there would be a flaw. The 8 Gates Divine Disk was the nemesis of formations. 8 Gates Divine Disk, open. Yi Chen threw out the 8 Gates Divine Disk. Countless divine patterns floated in the air, forming a rune barrier to resist the 3 realms' light. At the same time, he released a drop of blood onto the disk. Zzz. After absorbing Yi Chen's blood, the disk began to spin. Following that, the heavenly Tao's qi and the sun and moon essences were unleashed. Yi Chen was like the heavenly Tao's favored child, the Sun-Moon Emperor. He stood alone in the void and was unshakable. Damn it! At the sight of this, the core artifact spirit was enraged. No one dared to act so arrogantly in front of it. It was the symbol of the 3 realms' power. It should be the one being worshipped by tens of thousands of people, not Yi Chen. Demonic tribulation, fall. The core artifact spirit finally made its move. It first triggered the demonic tribulation, heavenly annihilation tribulation to kill Yi Chen. Boom! The power of darkness in the world turned into a huge palm, the sharp claws of a demonic god as they descended. Oh! Yi Chen lifted his head slightly and looked at the sky. Then I'll use mystic energy to break you. Demonic inscriptions bloomed all over his body and the bone wings on his back opened. Yi Chen had transformed into the Devil Son. The evil energy was like the judgment of Yama, and everyone gasped in admiration. Kill! The core artifact spirit activated the killing array, and the demonic tribulation descended from the void. Ah! With a roar, Yi Chen transformed into a 100-foot-tall demonic god. He punched forward with both fists like a flying mountain. The huge impact instantly collided with the demonic tribulation. Ah! The 3 innate masters were shocked at the same time, their eyes filled with disbelief. Above the void, Yi Chen's fists were like a dark abyss, carrying supreme demonic might. With the support of the ultimate demonic inscriptions, the power of this attack was increased by 100 times. With a loud bang, the demonic tribulation broke. You broke my demonic tribulation? Isn't that a piece of cake? Is it that difficult? You! Seeing Yi Chen's casual expression, the core artifact spirit was furious. It was a perfect artifact forged by the three great rulers. How could it lose to a mortal? Come. The core artifact spirit caused the world to shake again. Above the void, the underworld annihilation formation was activated. Hiss, hiss, hiss. At this moment, the Lord True Spirit's figure appeared in front of Yi Chen. Yi Chen, give me back my life. The Lord True Spirit's face was pale and bloodless. He was already a ghost of the underworld, but he still tried to resurrect with the help of the core artifact spirit to fight Yi Chen. Since you're still lingering, I'll kill you again. Yi Chen's body changed and transformed into a spiritual body. Suddenly, immortal light shrouded the sky. Although it was a combined body, he had already released the power of an immortal. Burning palm, star-picking hand, dragon-capturing claw, finger of annihilation, go, go, go. At this moment, Yi Chen was like the thousand-armed great emperor. Countless palm prints, fist energy, and finger energy all attacked the True Spirit Lord at the same time. Lord True Spirit revealed a look of shock. Before he could react, these sacred arts descended from the sky and smashed him to death. The core artifact spirit's ability was broken again, and it was furious. Spiritual realm annihilation. Underworld annihilation. Unable to bear it anymore, the core artifact spirit released two major annihilations at the same time, hoping to crush Yi Chen. Yi Chen glanced sideways at the core artifact spirit. However, his body was stable and his eyes gleamed. He was still an unshakable existence. Heavenly Emperor Sword, Demon's Eye. The Demon's Eye between Yi Chen's brows opened. Instantly, the gates of hell opened again. At the same time, Yi Chen held the Heavenly Emperor's sword like an immortal king descending to the world. Slaying demons was a piece of cake. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The Heavenly Emperor's shadow appeared behind Yi Chen again. The light of the underworld shone from between Yi Chen's brows. Supreme immortal power and the might of the underworld shook heaven and earth and shattered the sky. This was an unstoppable, super-powerful fusion power. This was the supreme spirit of the three realms. Heavenly Emperors / Gates of Hell. Rumble! The sword gleam cut through heaven and earth, hiding all things in hell. Under the huge impact of the energy, everything that Yi Chen's sword gleam passed by would be shattered into nothingness. It was like a demon had come to life, the reincarnation of the King of Hell. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The core artifact spirit felt its body instantly falling into a boundless world of destruction. All it saw was flames burning everything. No. In the most unwilling cry, the core artifact spirit shattered in the air. The triple calamity heavenly formation was destroyed at the same time. Demon's Eye. At this moment, Yi Chen activated the Demon's Eye again. The strange light of the underworld shrouded the entire formation. All the formation fragments entered Yi Chen's mind space to be analyzed, integrated, and refined. Congratulations, Pluto, for defeating the artifact spirit and subduing the three realms core. The three innate masters of the underworld stepped forward and bowed at the same time. Since the three realms core is in my hands, I want to be the ruler of the three realms. There will be no more meaningless killings and fights in the three realms. We're in awe. Return to the Pluto Palace. Yes. Everyone crowded around Yi Chen and flew back to the Pluto Palace to prepare for the plan to unify the three realms. Chapter 2013. After returning to the Underworld Temple, Yi Chen continued to study the source of the three realms core's power and found the perfect way to fuse the three realms force. These were the foundational cultivation methods of the three realms ruler. After studying them, Yi Chen had benefited greatly. Meanwhile, the Devil Realm and the Spirit Realm had fallen into chaos due to the defeat of the Devil Realm ruler and the True Spirit tribe. In the Devil Realm, the ruler is dead. The ruler is dead. The demonic vessel descended, and those who rushed out were all extremely frightened. They were shocked by Yi Chen's terrifying strength, and felt that their future was bleak because of the ruler's death. Rumble! At this moment, a huge figure appeared on the Devil Realm's altar. The Devil Realm has become like this? A loud voice shook the entire area. Countless buildings shattered in the air, and countless mountains shook and shifted. Communication with the upper realm had always been the Devil Realm ruler's business. Few devils had ever seen such a huge demonic figure. Now that the Devil Realm ruler was dead, the Devil Realm ruler had lost the bridge of communication and had to descend personally. What is this? The Devil Realm combatants felt such power. It was even stronger than the Devil Realm ruler. They were scared silly and did not know what they were seeing. You useless trash! You've disgraced the Devil Realm. How could the Devil Realm ruler be defeated? The powerful demonic figure shocked everyone. They all knelt down. Reporting to the upper realm, we followed the ruler to the underworld to seize the three realms' core. But things have developed like this. A Devil Realm combatant stepped forward and recounted everything that had happened in the underworld. Yi Chen? The upper realm combatant frowned slightly. He had heard about this person from the Devil Realm ruler, but he did not expect that this person could kill two rulers from the Spirit Realm and the Devil Realm. Defend the Devil Realm. The Devil Realm ruler will soon send a powerhouse to lead the Devil Realm to rise again. Yes, we will. Many Devil Realm combatants kowtowed and obeyed. In the Spirit Realm, the spirit vessel landed. The combatants on it were similar to the Devil Realm combatants. They were all terrified. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. At this moment, thunder rumbled and dark clouds covered the sky. Above the clouds, a huge figure appeared. Why are you all so flustered? The descender was from Lei Yun. He had wanted to contact the true Spirit Lord and then personally descend to the underworld to fight for the core of the three realms. But because the primordial immortal empire had a mission at the last minute, he had been delayed. Now that he had descended and could not contact the true Spirit Lord, he felt that something big had happened. Taoist Master Thundercloud, the true Spirit Lord, has died in battle. What? Hearing the words of the powerhouse on the spirit boat, Taoist Master Lei Yun was furious. I told him to wait for me to descend upon the netherworld and seize the core of the three realms. Yet, he died in battle before I even descended. How hateful! Taoist Master Thundercloud, please calm down. Everyone knelt down one after another, not daring to raise their heads. Those from the higher realms were so majestic, they did not want to become sacrificial lambs under the other party's wrath. The true Spirit Lord was slain by a mere body integration stage cultivator? Your spirit realm has truly disappointed me. Sage Lei Yun, that boy Yi Chen isn't an ordinary genius. His strength is far beyond our imagination. Even the true Spirit Lord and the Demon Dimension Overlord together aren't a match for him. Still trying to quibble? Taoist Master Lei Yun was already in a fit of anger. Now that someone wanted to compromise and take responsibility, Taoist Master Lei Yun was enraged. Lightning flashed in his palm and he killed mercilessly. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As a bolt of lightning descended, the great completion stage powerhouse exploded and died on the spot. With a blood-curdling scream, his body was a bloody mess. No one dared to say anything else. Humph, that useless true Spirit Lord is indeed useless. All of you, guard the true Spirit Palace and wait for further instructions. Yes. Everyone nodded and then returned to their positions. As for Taoist Master Lei Yun, he flew toward the Ling Emperor Palace. In the Ling Emperor Palace, Taoist Master Lei Yun originally wanted to participate in the true Spirit Lord's big operation, but he did not expect that the other party wanted to take all the credit for himself and did not let him accompany him. This made Taoist Master Lei Yun very displeased. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Suddenly, above the 9 heavens, thunder rumbled and the sound of thunder pierced the ears. Welcome, Venerable One of the Upper Realm. Taoist Master Lei Yun came out and bowed. Above the clouds, Taoist Master Lei Yun descended. Taoist Master Lei Yun, the true Spirit Lord is dead. I order that you temporarily command the Spirit Realm. Thank you for your recognition, Taoist Master Lei Yun. I'll do my best to do everything for you. Ha ha ha, Taoist Master Lei Yun, you're still the sensible one. Now that Yi Chen has obtained the core of the three realms, he's trying to disrupt the three realms. The primordial immortal world won't stand idly by and wait for further instructions. Yes. The Spirit Sovereign was overjoyed. He didn't expect that the Lord of True Spirit's expedition to the Netherworld would result in his death. Although this was a heavy loss for the Spirit Realm, it was a great harvest for him. O True Spirit Lord, in the end you died because of your greed. In this way, the day when I regain control of the Spirit Realm is just around the corner, ha ha ha. Yi Chen's image appeared in Taoist Master Lei Yun's mind. This young man who dared to challenge him already had the strength to kill the true Spirit Lord. This was no small matter. No matter how strong you are, you have the backing of an upper realm Venerable One. Why should I be afraid of you? After sending off Sage Lei Yun respectfully, Taoist Master Lei Yun immediately summoned the many combatants of the Ling Emperor Palace. After gathering, the entire army marched to the True Spirit Hall. The demonic martial world and the primordial immortal world were moving frequently. The arrival of these people from the upper realm had triggered the energy imbalance between the three realms, directly affecting the underworld. Rumble. Feeling the tremors of the earth, Yi Chen opened his eyes slightly. He had been comprehending the core of the three realms for more than 10 days and 10 nights. During this time, he had gained a lot. From the core of the three realms, he had found the essence of the three realms' martial arts and even comprehended a set of strategies to fuse the three realms' martial arts. Although it was still very simple and incomplete, he had an idea. To be able to comprehend to such an extent in such a short time, he had already surpassed ordinary geniuses by many times. Before the True Spirit Lord and the Devil Realm Overlord died, they called for the people from the upper realm to descend. It seems that the Spirit Realm and the Devil Realm are just a cover. The real force behind them has yet to reveal itself. This was what Yi Chen was most worried about now. Therefore, he had to comprehend the essence of the three realms' martial arts as soon as possible to deal with the changes in the future. Pluto. At this moment, Indra walked into the hall in a panic. Indra, why are you panicking? Reporting to Lord Pluto, the underworld's Earth suddenly became restless. There must be a large-scale energy fluctuation in the other cultivation levels. Please stabilize the Earth vein, Pluto. Alright. The fluctuation of the Earth vein was not a trivial matter. It was very likely to directly affect one's cultivation level. Yi Chen did not hesitate and immediately stood up to follow Indra. The source of the fluctuation was the ancestral peak, where the underworld dragon vein was located. Returning to the ancestral peak, Yi Chen's eyes turned cold and he flew up to the sky. The core of the three realms. He tossed it into the air, and the core of the three realms immediately appeared. Chapter 2014. As the core of the three realms appeared, Yi Chen's eyes narrowed. A third eye appeared between his brows. It was the demon eye. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Yi Chen's left eye, right eye, and the demon eye released different lights. The lights were the symbols of the three realms' energy. The three lights were infused into the core of the three realms. The core was activated. The core was operating and the world was in awe. It activated the three lights of heaven, the sun, the moon, and the stars. The core exploded with supreme might and infused energy into the ley lines. The rumbling sound of the ley lines disappeared, and the entire underworld stabilized. The Pluto King is a god, Indra exclaimed. Of course. It's impossible to operate the core of the three realms with the help of any almighty from the underworld, spiritual realm, or devil realm because it contains three major forces. To control the core's power, three itinerant immortal cultivators from the three realms are needed. However, the Pluto King can operate the core on his own. Based on this alone, he has surpassed the itinerant immortals of the three realms. Domo added, "Ha ha ha, following the Pluto King is the best choice. I really hope to see the Pluto King unify the three realms." Azura revealed a yearning expression. At that moment, Yi Chen put away the core of the three realms. The ley lines were stabilized. His mission was completed. "Pluto King, I'm afraid the ley lines are unusual," Indra said. I'm afraid the spiritual realm and devil realm are going to make a move." "What?" The three innate masters were shocked. The upper realm was very mysterious and powerful to them. Although the three realms were very high existences in the eyes of the lower realms like the human realm, they were very weak in the eyes of the people from the upper realm. Any almighty being from the upper realm could control the lives of all living beings in the upper realm. The three innate masters were elders of the underworld. They had seen the glory of the Almighty from the underworld before. It was even rumored that the Lord of the underworld was chosen by the people of the upper realm to rule the underworld on their behalf. The core authority of the upper realm was the demon eye. Are they going to attack the underworld again? The core of the three realms is the focus of their fight. This time, we have to fight them head-on. "Don't worry, Pluto King. Since we've pledged allegiance, we'll give our lives for the underworld and the Pluto King." The three innates knelt on the ground at the same time, swearing their loyalty. "All of you, stand up. In this battle, life and death are hard to predict. Do you really want to follow me? Netherworld Lord, we thank you for not killing us. At the same time, you have the Fiend Eye, so you are the rightful overlord of the Netherworld. No one is stronger than you. If there really are other forces that want to continue invading the Netherworld, we will fight to the death without retreating." "Very good. You should immediately coordinate with the other underworld emperors to arrange the defensive fortifications. Be fully prepared." "Yes, Lord Nether King." The three Khanate rankers bowed and accepted the order, then went their separate ways. Yi Chen flew down and returned to Ancestor Peak. He walked to the place where the demon's eye was placed. This was the connection between the underworld and the underworld. Walking into this space, Yi Chen closed his eyes slightly and immediately sensed the powerful energy of the underworld divine realm. Ah! Suddenly, the space trembled and laughter rang out. "Who is it?" Yi Chen asked coldly. "I didn't expect the Netherworld to be obtained by a human brat. Unbelievable! What's so inconceivable about it? The world is vast, and only the virtuous can rule. This has been the case since ancient times." "Yi Chen, you're just a human brat. How dare you be so arrogant? You don't know your place." Yi Chen's eyes turned cold. The energy in his body was activated, and the surrounding space trembled rapidly and exploded. Boom, boom, boom. A burst of energy exploded, and the mountain rocks collapsed. The ground shook. The powerful impact made it impossible for that person to hide. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. With a flash of light, the hidden person appeared. This person had two horns on his head, and his eyes were like lightning. His face was black with a hint of red. It was very strange. He was tall and wore a dark green robe. He stood on a rock and faced Yi Chen. "How dare you be so disrespectful to the emissary of the upper realm?" "The upper realm emissary? Ha ha ha, are you from the underworld divine realm?" "Yes, I am the emissary of the underworld divine realm, Anyabai." "Anyabai? So what?" Facing this strange person, Yi Chen maintained his noble posture, showing no fear. Such boldness made Anyabai feel the demeanor of a king. It was not surprising that he could subdue three innate masters and unify the underworld. You should know very well that the primordial immortal world and the magic martial world have both made their moves, which caused the underworld's ley lines to shake. Facing the power of two people from the upper realm at the same time, even if you control the demon's eye, you can't fight back. I advise you to obediently hand over the demon's eye and become famous. Perhaps you can get help from the underworld divine realm and spare your life. Oh? You want me to spare your life? Hearing this, Yi Chen's brows emitted a faint cold light. However, this faint light hid an incomparably vast murderous aura. The surrounding space trembled. The boulder that fell to the ground trembled continuously, letting out rumbling sounds. The entire space seemed to tremble in response to some kind of power. What do you want? Anyabai revealed a wary expression. I want to teach you a lesson. Before the Heavenly Emperor, you can only bow your head. You dare to do this to the emissary of the upper realm? Why not? Yi Chen opened the demon's eye. An extremely powerful deterrent force made Anyabai almost unable to raise his head. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The demon's eye released its power and the apparition of the Nether God appeared behind Yi Chen. When Anyabai saw the apparition of the Nether God, his 3 souls instantly fled and his 6 physical forms disappeared. He trembled with fear and was incomparably terrified. Retract your power, retract it. Ha ha ha, I didn't think that the emissary of the upper realm would be so afraid of the power of the Nether God. What a joke. Hearing Yi Chen's maniacal laughter, Anyabai felt that he had lost his dignity this time. The anger in his heart could not be contained. D***eminent. Anyabai attacked angrily. The Nether God's power revolved around his hands, wanting to sneak an attack on Yi Chen. Rumble. His sharp claws danced and the Nether God's power poured into the ground. Instantly, waves of power rushed from the ground to Yi Chen's feet. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The ground cracked. The Nether God's power turned into demonic claws and hooked onto Yi Chen's feet, wanting to drag him down to hell. Ah. Just when Anyabai thought that he had succeeded, Yi Chen turned his head and glanced at him. Suddenly, Anyabai felt that extreme chill again. His back was cold and his mind was in a mess. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Yi Chen opened the demon's eye and waved the apparition of the Nether God, pointing at the image of hell. The demonic might shook the universe and Anyabai's divine ability was instantly broken. Seeing that his technique was broken, Anyabai was extremely shocked. He never thought that a person from the lower realm could fight against the emissary of the upper realm. I'm a powerful itinerant immortal. How can you defeat me? So what if you're an itinerant immortal? In my eyes, you're just an ant. Huh. The flawless chapters of The Demon Nanny in the City will continue to be updated on the new C-Book Pavilion. There will be no advertisements on the site. Please bookmark and recommend the new C-Book Pavilion. If you like Evil Nanny Dad in the City, please collect. Evil Nanny Dad in the City's new books are updated the fastest in Hage. Chapter 2015. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The demon's eye glowed again. The surrounding space fell into the demon's domain. Anyabai felt as if his body was no longer his. Even moving became extremely difficult. Is this the power of the Nether God? As the emissary of the Underworld God, he knew nothing about the power of the Underworld God. That was because the Underworld God was the most powerful and mysterious existence in the Underworld God realm. No one knew exactly how strong he was, and many people couldn't even see him. Anyabai was already relatively lucky to be able to become an envoy of the Nether God. This time, he came to the underworld to search for the demon's eye. As the Nether God had already sensed that there was a problem with the demon's eye, the earth-shattering scene of the underworld below also entered the Nether God's vision. Anyabai, why aren't you kneeling when you see the Nether God? Suddenly, the Nether God's shadow appeared behind Yi Chen. Anyabai felt an incomparably shocking pressure. Its majesty shook the heavens and earth. Nether God, Lord Nether God. Anyabai could not support his body anymore. He knelt in the air and kept kowtowing to the Nether God's shadow. Now Yi Chen, who had the demon's eye, had a portion of the Nether God's power. At this moment, he represented the Nether God's authority. Even if Anyabai was unwilling, he had to kneel and worship the Nether God. What are you doing here? This. You talk too much. You're asking for death. Yi Chen was furious. He activated the demon's eye's power. Anyabai felt like he was being suppressed by death. His entire body was bent into a ball, incomparably humble. Lord Nether God, I came here on your orders to find clues about the demon's eye and investigate the situation in the underworld. Ha, I see. Anyabai, get out of the underworld immediately. What are you for? This is my order. Yes, Lord Nether God. Anyabai could not resist the Nether God's might. The fear that had already taken root in the depths of his brain made him listen to Yi Chen's orders. He quickly jumped into the black hole and disappeared. Nether God, are you really going to attack the underworld? Yi Chen had anticipated such a scene, but he did not expect it to happen so quickly. Just how many mysteries were there in the underworld god realm and the upper levels of the underworld? This piqued his interest. After all, Yi Chen had experienced too much along the way from Earth. The more it was like this, the more it stimulated his determination to become stronger and search for power. Above the ancient void, the underworld god realm. Lord Abyssal God, Anyabai has returned. Let him in. Yes. The door in front of them slowly opened, and Anyabai appeared at the entrance, trembling with fear. His entire body was trembling. Lord Nether God. He crawled into the main hall like a soulless barbarian. That kind of sorry state was despicable. Anyabai, look at you. How did things go? This. Anyabai raised his head and looked up. On the throne of darkness, there was a mass of darkness as dark as hell staring at him. The two masses of aura turned into two beams of scarlet light, releasing the most bizarre shadow of death. Lord God of the underworld, Yi Chen has already controlled the demon's eye. He's Lord God of the underworld's incarnation. This subordinate was unable to fight against the demon's eye, which led to this. Oh! The scarlet light suddenly widened. Instantly, the demon's eye appeared and attacked Anyabai with a rumble. In an instant, Anyabai's consciousness entered the void. There was boundless chaos like a huge cage imprisoning him forever. Anyabai, your failure has angered God. This is your punishment. Enjoy it, ha ha ha. No, Lord God of the underworld. In the midst of a cry of despair, Anyabai fell into the void and entered an endless cycle of reincarnation. Yi Chen, the underworld god, closed his eyes slightly. Suddenly, Yi Chen's image appeared in front of him. The demon's eye was indeed on him. At the same time, in the distant land of the underworld, Yi Chen also felt the underworld god's existence. This person was prying into his mind. Stop! With a cold shout, Yi Chen released his heavenly emperor's light and stopped the underworld god from prying into him. Ah! A burst of laughter came. Following that, a mass of dark energy appeared in the air. At the center of this energy was a pair of scarlet eyes. Yi Chen, you're the underworld god. To be able to recognize a deity with a single glance, it looks like the demon eye on you has given you a lot of hint. God of the underworld is already under my control. Don't even think about taking it. Such arrogance. You want to go against God? God? Ha ha, between the heavens and earth, I am the only one. Where did the gods come from? You. The underworld god was furious. He did not expect Yi Chen to be so disrespectful to him with the demon's eye. Don't you know that the demon's eye is God's treasure? How dare you take it for yourself? The fiend eye is an ownerless item that I found on Ancestor Peak. It seems like you want to snatch it from me, right? Damn it! The god of the underworld was enraged, and his eyes shone with red light. Instantly, the space around him trembled, and the surrounding space fell into a strange realm. It was the underworld god plane. Yi Chen's eyes turned slightly cold. He knew that the person before him must not be underestimated. Although it was just a ball of divine consciousness, the power contained in it was enough to kill an itinerant immortal. With a shout, Yi Chen activated the demon eye. Immediately, the light of darkness blossomed at the same time, resisting the nether god realm. Boom, boom, boom. The surrounding space exploded continuously, the earth shook and the sky collapsed. It was like the end of the world. Rumble. The god of the underworld spat out a mouthful of dark energy. Like a thunderstorm, it attacked Yi Chen. Darkness pool. Yi Chen activated the power of the darkness pool in his body. Instantly, the void cracked, and the dark vortex, like the most powerful demon that could devour the world, began to devour the dark thunderstorm before him. What? The god of the underworld was shocked. He did not expect that the divine power he used would be directly devoured by his opponent. Underworld god palm. The dark energy suddenly condensed into a long arm, then formed a huge palm, suppressing Yi Chen. Might of the ancient god. Facing such a shocking power of the underworld god, Yi Chen did not want to be outdone. He activated the ancient god bloodline in his body. Instantly, the ancient god apparition appeared behind him, like a giant that could hold up the sky. He stretched out both arms and immediately resisted the underworld god palm. Rumble. The power of both sides collided in the void. This was a head-on confrontation. Impossible. The god of the underworld was already in a state of confusion. The person before him was only at the fusion stage. How could he resist the underworld god palm? Majestic power filled the world, and the god of the underworld released the death ray again. Ancient god Vajra spell. However, Yi Chen's body glowed with golden light, like an indestructible golden body of Buddha. He sat cross-legged in the void, insufferably arrogant. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The death ray shone down, all hitting the ancient god radiance, and was instantly purified and dissipated. Ha ha, Yi Chen, not bad. I'll remember you.